Hello everyone! Hello, thanks so much for joining us. I can see that some people already in the chat, so thank you so much for coming. Today we are going to be playing a game that we have spent a very long time making, Empyreal. I know that some people have already had a chance to play for the demo for themselves, but obviously we know the game inside out, so we will be going through some hints and tips and just talking about, I guess, little anecdotes from development as well. So just in case you don't know who I am, I'm Sally, I'm the CEO, and Joseph is our creative director for the game as well. So yay, good to see people in the chat. Hello, hello. I hope everyone's having a good evening. We skipped over the trailer because you probably saw it while it was looping at the start, but obviously all of the trailers and stuff are on our Steam page, so please check those out if you want to know any more. We've also got some dev diaries up as well, so there's more information about the game. But for now, we're going to create our character.
We're going to spend time here, or do you want to...
We're going to spend time on the character creator, of course
okay.
we are.
Sure.
Yeah, who are we making today? We've made a few different characters over the past few...
Well, we did one stream already where we played as a dude.
Yeah.
So we can play as a girl this time.
Yep.
We've got all the
so
presets.
I am in charge of the presets. I do like preset one. It's cute.
Preset one, yeah. That's like the...
All the presets are cute.
The iconic version.
Yeah, we're
like
used to seeing her.
The male and the female preset one. These are the canon characters. Not there isn't really a canon character.
No, there isn't. You can create your own. There's quite a lot of options, so yeah, definitely. I spent probably too much time designing the makeup, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, got some more people in. Hello, if you've just joined us, we're just exploring the character creator right now. There's lots of different options. We're just going through the presets and stuff.
Oh, this one as well.
Yeah, she's cute.
Should we play her?
Yeah, let's do something different. Can we make her have red eyes? Let's
Okay.
make her... I never create a character with
Somebody
red eyes.
wanted more eye colours.
Yeah, I can easily do that. So also, if while you're watching, or if you've been playing yourself, if you've got any feedback for us, then the game's still in development. So obviously, let us know. This is a good place to let us know. You can tell us directly to our faces what you think of the game. Also, it's probably worth mentioning as well, the game is still in development, so that you might see some bugs, there might be a couple of crashes. Hopefully not, hopefully everything goes smoothly, but it is game development, so that's how it can go sometimes.
Stay positive.
Exactly.
I'm not sure, I don't know how I feel about these red eyes. What do you want to do with blush? We had someone make a video, Lumen. He makes character creation videos for all sorts of games like Monster Hunter. He made a video about ours. But he said that he doesn't like blush in any game. So I wonder if we can
get
blush. A good version to show it.
I love the fact that usually games have like blush on or off. Now we've got like e-girl blush.
Well, the opacity does, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but for different skin tones you need different types of opacity, so it looks better on some.
Can we not do the e-girl blush? Oh.
I had 3 crashes and one with a memory issue I sent in the report, so hopefully it helps. It will help a lot, thank you so much. We've also just put crash reporting in the demo, so any crash that you might get, you can report it, and then our programmers can see the call stack, which helps us diagnose the problem a lot. So yeah, that's very much appreciated. Thanks for taking the time to do that. We're hoping the game will be crash-free by launch, but obviously by having the demo out there, it does help us test on a variety of systems and things like that. So yeah. What have you done to her lips?
Wait, what am I?
I feel like I need to be in control of this. Your makeup.
Let me cook.
Your makeup choices are interesting to say the least. Can we put on some better eyeliner?
Sure.
Like the dramatic one.
Oh right.
No, not that.
Okay.
The second
that
one.
is the dramatic one.
Yeah, the second one, and make it black.
Okay.
No, the second one.
That is the second one.
No, because the first one's no
okay.
eyeliner. Yeah, that one. You gotta have a wing. Make it like nearly full opacity. Yeah, bold. I like it. Can we make her have like black hair? I feel like because she's got red eyes, she needs to. I think we're making like a vampire girl. She looks like a vampire. We should show some of the different hairstyles as well, because there's a lot. There's a lot of them. But yeah. How is everyone today, by the way? I hope you're all doing good.
This is a nice one.
I don't like this one because I feel like you couldn't have your hair like that. Because she's got a long bit and a short bit.
Ancient automatons or just in general?
No, just in. she's got like hair that wouldn't be physically possible. Maybe in this sci-fi fantasy universe, you can have long and short hair. They've perfected the haircut.
A lot of hair. Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
probably how it's
that one's cool as well.
I always love the pigtails, but I always pick them, and I feel like
we'll try and do something different. Yeah.
Could be extensions, but like you wouldn't have different length extensions.
I think that works with her
I think that looks good.
That
But let's make her lipstick like a dark red.
Yeah. Which lipstick?
I feel like just the one that you've got, the first one, but just the darker red. Yeah, I think that looks better on her.
Maybe turn it down a little bit.
Now she just looks sickly. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
The blush, I think, needs to be toned down slightly or made more darker red tone.
I've got a darker one here. I'll put it on a pretty light one. Oh,
yeah, that looks better.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, 2.
Okay.
You don't want to be overly blushy. She's a serious lady. She's got no eyeshadow on though.
Minor adjustments. Oh, eyeshadow.
Can we put red eyeshadow on her?
Can we get to the gameplay?
Some people really love the character
What about
creator.
this one? This one's interesting.
Yeah, that one's cool. I like that one. It's giving Queen Amidala, which I do like.
Oh, that red.
Turn it down a bit. Yeah.
Down a bit.
Yeah. The red opacity, it likes to be like really far down. Oh, now you can't see the dots.
You can still,
yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like that's good. I think she looks cool now. Hello everybody who's just joined us. Hope you're all having a good day. Has anyone tried any of the other Next Fest demos? Let us know what you're playing. I'm curious as well. I usually just do close enough to what I look like. It never works. I'm never that buff. No, I am not this well-toned either. But she's a warrior.
I feel like
so...
no scar is better maybe. She's...
Yeah, I pretty much always put a scar on, so let's have a...
Oh, okay.
Let's have a clean one today. She's not battle-hardened yet. She's a rookie.
Yeah, I mean in the main game you can actually select a background after character creation, and the background gives you a bit of flavour and lore about where you've come from, and you can choose that.
So this is a bit of welcome text. So welcome to the Empyreal Demo. Please note that the game is still in development, balancing is not final, and you may encounter some bugs, as I mentioned earlier. So if you do encounter some bugs, please fill in the form, which you can find on our Steam page, or if you join our Discord, you can just tell us directly, and we will obviously collate all the feedback and address it. Please take a moment to familiarise yourself with the controls by taking advantage of this training area. You can spawn enemies from the console in front of you and change gear using the chest provided. Check the save loadouts to quickly equip a different provided gear setup. As soon as you feel ready, you can go up the stairs. So we'll show you a few of the options. There's 3 different weapon types in Empyreal, and everyone has their favourites and their different preferences. They all have very, very different play styles, which we're quite proud of the fact that we, as a small studio, have been able to develop that. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll try and show all the weapons off, and I think one of the main things we want to show is just some of the things that you can do in the game in terms of how the combat works. So, we can go over here and have a look at the save loadouts. You've got your Mason Shield. You've got the cannon.
I've been following Empyreal for a while when I found out you were a part of it. It's nice to see school friends living their dreams. Thank you so much. It's been really exciting to see people play. And also it's very helpful for us because we basically have watched every single Twitch stream that someone has done and try not to intimidate anyone by saying I'm like a dev when I'm in the chat or anything. But sometimes if we feel like people need help, then we'll help them out. But it's been really interesting, and we've got positive reviews on Steam, and people have been leaving lots of feedback in the discussion forum. So yeah, that's been really nice, and it's been super, super helpful for us. So yeah, thanks for coming to check it out as well. Like, that's very much appreciated. So yeah, do you want to explain a bit about what you're?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, normally I don't. I think we started with the glaive, and a lot of people do gravitate towards the glaive. It's a nice and elegant weapon, and it's kind of. It's not simple, there's lots of depth to it, but it's maybe a bit less technical than some of the other weapons. But I've been watching people play, because the demo, if you haven't played it, obviously go and try it, but the demo's actually been out since Monday. And so a few people have been playing it. And one thing I did notice is that it's not necessarily something that people do straight away, where they try and pick up on their abilities. So in our game, you have these basic attacks that I'm doing now. But we don't have a stamina system in our game, so you can just play your basic attacks as much as you like, but they're not the most efficient way to deal damage. So if you want to understand what abilities you've come equipped with, and these abilities can be changed, they can be changed in the demo, but they especially can be changed in the main game. You'll get tons more abilities. You can go to here on your character sheet, so it's just at the top here, and then you can read about the ability, and you can watch a little video of it being executed. So this ability is maybe a bit unintuitive, and I've not seen a lot of people take advantage of it. It is the most damaging ability that's on the glaive, but you need to press it twice. So first you need to deflect an attack, and then you need to follow it up.
It's very cool when you do the follow-up.
It's very cool when you do it,
yeah, I want more people to know how to use it.
Press it here, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. but it's very cool when you execute it correctly.
I have
Still
seen people
get 'em.
do this though. People take advantage of that quite a bit.
Yeah, because that's fun. It's fun when you get the last blow with the coup de grace and he's
Yeah.
like just breaks into little bits. It's very satisfying.
But I think maybe we'll do a playthrough with the glaive, and then we'll do a playthrough with the mace shield, and then we'll do not a playthrough of the whole demo, but
Yeah,
in the-
like
in
a
the-
little
yeah.
level.
in the demo, yeah, we put multiple levels available for you,
Mhm.
so you can try out the different weapons and the different levels. So we'll definitely do one of each.
Mhm.
But just showing all the different things, just the more basic attacks. Again, it's the abilities that deal a lot of damage. Although he blocked me. So.
Yeah. By the way, let us know if the sound levels are all good. Obviously, I want to hear the game audio and stuff. Our sound designer has worked very hard on that, so I want you to be able to hear it as well as us. So do let me know if that's all good on your side.
Yeah, so this is the cannon. Cannon is like the most technical weapon, if you like. You've got this perfect reload system. You can level up your ammo; it deals more damage. You can all the abilities obviously still do a ton of damage. See if we can.
Get him.
There we go. Yeah.
Someone was like, I got him in his light bulb the other
His
day.
light
It made me, it
His
made me
energy
proper
bulb.
laugh.
Yeah.
Well, he had a swear word before that, but
Oh.
I'm too polite for that right now.
Right.
But yeah, it was really funny.
Yeah. So that is the training area. You can spend actually one thing that someone commented on, so I'll address it just in case it ever comes up or they ever see it.
Game could be a tiny bit louder, so just
sure.
give me a moment while I do a little switcheroo and make the game slightly louder for you all. There we go. Don't want to blast your eardrums off, but that should be about right now.
Cool. So what you saw me there is you saw me spawn some weak enemies, some strong enemies, just to practice, and they'll hit you back. So you can practice deflecting, you can practice parrying, you can practice dodging, things like that. But you can spawn this guy as well, and he's just got like a ton of HP, and you can just
Just wail on him for a bit.
Just wail
Feels a
on
bit mean. Feels a bit unfair.
well, he's there
Oh,
as a
little
test dummy.
Yeah.
He's serving his purpose. This is
Yeah.
what he's made
This
for
is
in
made
life.
for.
Yeah. But if you want to end this, then there's a little prompt on the top left. So I think somebody said that they weren't sure how to finish this one because obviously you can't kill him.
Yeah,
it's
the
too
end
much H.
training.
So you can just
Yeah.
boop.
Yeah, pretend
And
you pretend you've killed him.
No. He's he's doing his job.
He's doing his job.
But yeah, let's.
I was going to say, it's worth saying as well, in the full game, the training area is available to you. It's not just for the demo, because a couple of people thought it was. But you can come here and you can practice at any time. And also, the game, obviously, in the demo, we've got a certain set of abilities, but there is tons of abilities to choose from in the full game. So you can get those in different ways by finishing NPC quest lines, crafting them, finding them, etc. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to get different abilities, and you can practice them all in the training area as well as anything else, new gear, and anything else you find. So yeah.
I think we've had enough training.
I've had enough already.
Played this game a lot. I think
Yeah.
I'm
I
confident.
think you will. I hope you're good at it by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's stay quiet for this bit. This is the moment. Whoa. There it is. So yeah, if you've seen anything about Empyreal, this is the monolith that you'll be exploring. It has many different names. The characters in the game refer to it as many different things, but yeah, it's quite intimidating when you play the demo for yourself and you're running up and we call it the maw. You're looking into the maw.
The big hole.
Yeah.
We call it the ziggle.
The ziggle. I call it the ziggle. Yeah.
The maw is the official.
I made like a beer pong version of it, where the hole was the thing you need to throw in, but
the ziggle.
the ziggle. But yeah.
Yeah, so I was going to say in the demo, we tried to focus much more on sort of the action and the combat and letting people get a chance to play around with the weapons. A few of the abilities will unlock some end game gear later as well in the demo. We don't really focus on the story much. You can meet some of the characters, but in terms of introducing the monolith and introducing, what the story is all about, that's kind of reserved for the main game. So you can get a little hint of things. You can kind of see the mystery that's in front of you with this inscrutable, towering object built by a lost civilization. But really the story is not the main focus of the demo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the story is very, very important to the main game. I know that a lot of people, when they looked at the trailers, we focused a lot on the combat and things like that because we wanted to keep some of the mystery. But yeah, it is very important. There are 9 characters to speak to, and you can speak to all but one in the game right now. Yeah. But they have their own quest lines, and each quest line for each character has multiple endings. And yeah, there's just a lot to uncover. So yeah, if the narrative and the lore and the world and the universe of the game is very important to you, then there's a lot more to come in the full game as well. So please look forward to it.
Our first stage of real combat here. Yeah, so with the ability I just used there, that's on RY. You can hold it and it will do additional effects. So if I just tap it, it would have just given me a bit of healing, but I was already on full health. So by holding it, I actually gain a couple of buffs, and you can see that above my health bar now.
I jumped down that hole behind you to test the fall damage. I've seen so many
Fall damage is
streamers
working.
like, is there fall damage? And then just jump off a cliff and like, yep, I see. RIP 20, welcome, first time chat. Game looks great, thank you so much. Really appreciate your comment. So if you've just joined us, we're the devs, we're playing the game. Obviously we've played the game a lot. We have some hints and tips for people. If you have any questions about Empyreal, or if you've played it yourself and you've got feedback, then that's what we're here for. It's very important for us to have, direct contact with players. It's very important. We're players first ourselves. So yeah, please, if you do have any feedback, let us know. Oh wow, this looks nice. Thank you so much.
Really downloading the demo right now.
Yay! Nice. Please let us know your feedback.
You should watch this first. Get some
tips. Read the tutorials as well. That's one of my tips for you. But yeah, any feedback's appreciated. Obviously I've got in the bottom bar, I've got a wishlist page, the demo download page, and also if you want to join our Discord, the community is very nice. All of the developers are in the Discord, so regardless of what question you have, if it's about the art, the music, the design, we're all in there. So yeah, there's 12 of us at Silent Games, so it's a very ambitious game made by a very small team. Some people are surprised by that. So yeah. Energy vomit, it's cursed.
People are always surprised that he can do this. I love his animation. It looks like he's puking it out.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of the time he's just swinging his big fists at you, but then he comes out with that. It's just...
he's just having it.
He's unexpected.
He's trying to get on with it, but he's hungover. That's all it is. Jared's here. Hello, Jared. Thanks for joining. It's Jared from Binary Spiders. So Binary Spiders have helped us on a bunch of the art stuff. They're a really nice outsourcing team. So how does the healing work? After this part, I had hardly any health and couldn't heal.
I haven't shown it yet, but I guess being more familiar with the game, I'm trying to play without relying on the consumables too much. But down on the D-pad there in the bottom left, you can see that I have a bunch of consumables already assigned to my up, down, left, right. And so this one restores a moderate amount of your health over a short duration. This one is actually a damage boost. So if this one I would save for a boss. If you're having trouble on a boss and you want to do a bit more damage, that's where I would use this one. This one is really useful. It doesn't heal you directly, but it gives you a barrier that will take damage before your health does. So what I like to do with this one, and this is an interesting tip, is if you find yourself on low health, then it's usually a good idea to use a barrier first and then healing, because a lot of the time the healing is over time, and this will protect you while you heal back up. But this one, Shield Restore 3, it's level 3, so it's a slightly improved version of this one. This will actually heal you almost to full. It restores a large amount of shields in one go. And we have actually given, in the demo, all this is all just like a preset loadout that you get for the demo, so what you're seeing here is the same thing you'll have when you play. And we've just given you a few extra consumables. So don't be too shy about using them. You do have quite a few.
We gave you more, so that, because obviously people are learning the game, and also in the full game there is a tutorial level, so there's a bit more of an onboarding. But we wanted people obviously to get straight into the action and see the full breadth of combat. So yeah, that's why we've given you some extra healing. So don't forget to use it if you need it.
Something I've seen a lot of people do. We've been watching streamers and things play the game, and they seem to really want to hunt down every last chest.
I love that,
so
yeah.
I was just showing some. But
they're going into all the nooks and crannies and finding all of the chests, because there's a lot of different loot. No,
people seem to find
like
it themselves.
Exploring, so that's cool.
Actually, one thing I noticed is I think we've hidden all the damage numbers.
Yep.
So that's an option you can do actually. So I'll play with them on for a bit, but if you want a more cinematic combat feeling, you can actually turn the damage numbers off, but I'll leave them on for now.
Yep. How long has this been in development? It looks insane for a 12 dev team. Thank you very much. We've been working on it for a few years. We had a smaller team at the very start. I mean, at the very, very start, it was just myself and Joseph and an intern who is still with us from the very beginning. So Jay, our environment artist, he's done all of the environments along with Binary Spiders, and Dan as well, who's in the chat. And yeah, it's been a few years, and it's very much a labour of love. And yeah, very, very ambitious for a very small team, but we're doing our best to make it very high quality and yeah, put our all into it. As you can imagine, you've placed so many sneaky chests. So we did. We want people to explore.
A lot of those chests were put down by Rootsy. He's in the chat now.
Yeah, Rootsy. So, hello. I tried using the Y ability to see if it would heal. The Y ability does heal. Yeah, it does.
But you have to hold it down.
Yeah.
So actually, if you tap it, it will heal you a little bit, and the hold version will also heal you, but also give you an extra couple of buffs as well.
Yeah. I have to see. I need to find the 3. Oh yeah, see if we find the hidden big chest. Yeah, there's different tiers of chests. Obviously, they have different types of gear and items in them. So
I'm going to kill this guy first because he's actually a healer.
Yeah.
And it's very important to get rid of him.
We should show the construct. Did you show the construct?
There it is. It's dispersing energy. So with this one, I've seen a lot of people scared by these bubbles, but some of these bubbles actually are beneficial, and some of them will hurt you. So over time, you kind of become familiar with it and kind of see what's good.
I feel like video game logic applies, like the colour scheme and all of that.
Well, let it do one more? I won't kill this guy yet.
Yeah.
And then disperse.
Sometimes the enemies jump into the bad ones, which makes me happy. The construct's taking care of business for me. So
this one will actually heal us, but it will heal the enemy as well.
Yeah, you've got to make sure you boot him out if he's...
And then this one will give us a damage boost, and this one will freeze us.
Yep.
I don't want to do that.
No, don't jump in there.
It's just to show it.
It's a bit chilly. Too chilly as it is over here.
Right.
Hello. Everyone's saying hello to each other in the chat. That's cool. Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. And yeah, please do go and play the demo for yourself after this. My guy Cat says, hey everyone, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing good. Thanks for joining. Okay, we're finding some more treasure here. That's good. I do quite like the grenades,
Grenades, they are very powerful.
Just do good stuff. There's all sorts of different consumables. There's many different types. Do you want to talk about like weapon coatings and things like that?
Yeah, I mean the consumables, they just provide a variety of different effects. There's a lot of them in the game, so they can coat your weapon with a different element. They can throw, like Sally just mentioned, grenades. A lot of the time they're kind of utility based. I don't think you could, make an entire build around grenades, although maybe that's sort of possible.
Maybe players will figure it out. That we haven't figured out.
Meme build. But they're really there to support you. But we can show. I mean, we picked up a few, right? So what else have we got? Yeah, we've got a couple of grenades. Got a smoke grenade that'll make us invisible. This one's interesting because it will mean that we can't die. It will actually give us an effect where if we take lethal damage, instead of dying, it'll heal us to full. But while we have that effect active, we won't be able to use any other consumables. So it's good to have on. But it's that you can tell we have sort of the rarity color system, and we apply that to treasures, to gear, to consumables. The rarity applies to a lot of parts of the game. Yep. So this is being level purple. It's like the second highest rarity of a consumable because it is a very powerful effect.
Someone had that on and then fell down.
Oh yeah.
And they only survived because they had that on. They jumped off a really high thing and they were like, oh no. Invigorating Smash will heal, but yeah, you can hold down the button for longer to charge up some abilities. Yeah, so I decided to answer the question. Hello, Callum. You alright? Yeah, you're right. Thanks for popping in. We've got 14 people watching now. That's nice. Thanks for dropping by, everyone. Appreciate it.
One thing I wanted to show here is I see a lot of people using the ability that we're using on the left trigger, and you can use it to dodge, but if you dodge perfectly, you can see that I've left a clone of myself behind. And the enemies will always attack that. We can do it again to show it.
There's another ability that isn't in the game right now. Well, it is in the game, it's not in the demo, called Taunt Totem, and that does a kind of similar thing, and that's one of my favourite abilities, along with Spike, which is in the demo. So yeah, that creates like a little decoy, so you can... So it's especially good when there's loads of enemies, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, if you're feeling overwhelmed, then...
Don't go yet, no! Wait, let's look at the cool statue.
Let's look at the cool statue.
There.
We've used this in a lot of our promotional art, so maybe...
Yeah, this is one of my favourite areas. She just looked really cool. She looks very majestic.
Yeah, those characters, these are actually important to the story as well. So she is actually responsible for the creation of this entire place. She's one of 8 founders of the monolith itself. So that's why she gets a prominent...
Little spoilers, not spoilers, but a little thing.
Yeah.
I love this room so much, says Jared. Yeah, it's pretty. You can make a meme build with grenades. Yeah, it's the coolest statue. Okay, go slow because we're going to the boss. We need to have a dramatic build-up.
Well, actually, one thing we didn't talk about, this is fairly sort of gamer instinct intuitive stuff, so you probably already figured it out, but throughout the levels you do come across these checkpoints. And a checkpoint just means that if you do die, then you'll just spawn near the checkpoint instead of all the way back at the beginning. So we are, again, gamer instincts kicking in. Yeah. That looks like an arena to me. So.
I feel like everyone, obviously, like I said, we've watched a lot of streamers play, and they're all like, I can this is the boss zone. Smell the boss.
One thing which we'll show later, because in the demo we have 2 of our 4 quadrants, and we actually designed different checkpoints for each quadrant. So you can see this one is kind of themed to match the general look of the quadrant itself, and then when you're in a different quadrant, the actual checkpoint will also kind of match that look. So it's a nice little touch.
There's one of those in the next little thing as well. When we'll meet the character and we'll show you.
I've seen a few people just yeet themselves out here as well.
It's just, sometimes you just want to throw yourself into the void.
I'm not going to try and replicate it because I don't know exactly what they did, but somebody jumped out by accident and then the character just grabbed the ledge there and they saved themselves unintentionally.
That's
that was nice.
Yeah, sometimes you just need to yeet yourself into a void, isn't it? That's how it goes.
So here we are again. That's actually seen better days, but that one is...
Still majestic, living the best life over there. Are you ready?
Yes.
You geared up.
In the game, we have sort of a unique intro cutscene for every boss the first time you fight them. So it won't play again, so it's not distracting. But the first time you encounter an enemy, they'll kind of introduce themselves in a more dramatic fashion. Yeah. But they're all unique for each enemy type.
Definitely. He's scary. We've used him in a lot of trailers because he's just... He's just cool. He's terrifying though. First try, right? Easy. To be fair, we did make this boss a little bit easier because originally it was actually too hard.
So a lot of people struggle with that rendability. Yeah. And you can dodge it and you can deflect it. But if you want to, you can just jump over it because it's a ground-based thing. So that's something you can think about as well. We've got our ult. Can we use the ult at a good time? What I've done here is I've debuffed him by using a perfectly timed energy wave, because that can be, and then I've buffed myself with invigorating smash. Then I'll use my ult to do maximum damage.
So satisfying. I love that. I think that's one of my favourite ults, to be honest with you. I do really like that ult. So yeah, just in case you didn't know, there are a variety of ultimate abilities that you can charge up over time, and they all have different things, and they're just more powerful than regular abilities generally. And they also look extremely cool, and there's like a Latin line that the player says, and it's just impactful. Looks cool. Did it? No props.
Well, with the help of my clone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Look, it's there we go.
Your clone, looking triumphant. That's good.
Got a cannon. Maybe we'll use the cannon next.
Yeah.
How many people found this chest? If you've already played the demo.
Oh, behind waterfalls, obviously. You've got to have chests behind waterfalls. So, otherwise, it's not right. It's not right at all. There's a lot of things that are like homages to old school kind of things in it, really.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say this is a gamer's game.
Yeah.
If you've got gaming cred, and you'll understand a lot of the mechanics and ideas and features in this game. Speaking of which, actually, we're about to get our hold of some endgame sets. So.
Yeah, now that you've completed your first cartogram, you're welcome to explore the hub and talk to the characters, so we'll definitely do that. One of them is based on my dad, and he's very funny, and he's from Yorkshire, so if you're from Yorkshire, you'll enjoy that. Sounds like me.
I had to research all sorts of Yorkshire colloquialisms.
Yeah. I don't know we have to research it, we've known me long enough.
I used some that your family has I've heard from your family, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do,
you're right. I'm getting more Yorkshire now as I go on. To play another cartogram, simply interact with the portal in front of you in this room. You also have access to 3 new sets of endgame gear, which should be used if you want to play the more difficult cartograms. It's obviously, for a game like this, it is important that everybody gets to experience what the end game is going to be like and has the breadth of what the features and the equipment and gear and enemy types are going to be like. So yeah, I know that a lot of people just have a little slice of the start for their demos, but for us it's important, especially for if you're a real hardcore RPG player, that you get to experience some of the end game stuff. So that's why we did that.
You know something I like? I like this little animation that plays. Look, when you get close enough to the box.
Yeah.
It opens itself up. When you're
you feel like you proper arming yourself. Yeah. It's good.
So one thing that we left in the demo, just in case people wanted to play around with it, is we manage loadout. So you can change your equipment here, but it's not really recommended because we've actually set you up with these. So these are your save loadouts, and in the main game you can create your own save loadouts. It's a super useful feature to help manage your gear, and we've got some end game stuff. So
Oh, we've got a comment. Go lightly 86. This looks good. Thank you so much, and thanks very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. For those of you that just joined us, just saying hi. My name's Sally. I'm the CEO of Silent Games, and this is Joseph. He is the creative director of Empyreal. So we are the devs, and we're playing this today. And we're just talking people through the various features, giving you some hints and tips. In the bottom bar, you will see links to the demo, links to wishlist the game, and links to the Discord and stuff as well. So if you've got any feedback for us, then please share it. You know, it's really important that we hear your opinion on the game. And we still have time to make adjustments and stuff like that before the game comes out. So obviously player feedback is very, very important to us. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us, and we're going to continue playing.
Yeah. So I just equipped one of the sets here. So when you equip one of these endgame sets, you get this little tutorial. I do recommend reading it because it will explain what the unique effect of the set is. So abilities behave differently depending on whether or not you have the set bonus equipped. Mm-hmm. So in this case, 2 of our abilities on the cannon, which we haven't shown yet because we've been playing the glaive, but they've been modified and they'll be much more powerful.
Speaking of weapons, someone asked us what our favourite weapon is. So I am a glaive girly. It's my favourite weapon. I think it was the first finished weapon in the game, so I got very used to playing it, and I am a creature of comfort. So yeah, I really, really like playing the game. It's the glaive. It's very agile. It's very quick. I mean, we just played the cartogram with the glaive there, so you've got a good impression of what it is. Mine is all the weapons now. You've had experience playing all of them extensively, so I get that. But what about you? What's your
the cannon is the best weapon.
That makes
sure.
The cannon is the hardest one to master, I think, but it does the most damage, and it's definitely the most technical weapon. So yeah, people sometimes compare it to the Monster Hunter bowgun.
Well, that was our reference when we were
which is very flattering. I appreciate being compared to Monster Hunter. That's very nice. But yeah, the glaive's for mine. Oh, Vicky says glaive as well. Yes, good choice.
Wait, hang on a second. Jared is Mace Supremacy. That's true as well.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of people do like the Mason Shield because it feels very tanky, don't it? You feel very powerful and strong when you've got
each of the weapons they're very completely different in terms of how you play, but they also have access to a unique mechanic for each one. So the mechanic, well, not a unique mechanic in terms of the game, but the Mason Shield is the only weapon that can access a barrier in its core kit. So when you parry, we can show that actually. When you parry an enemy, then you can riposte them, and that will give you a barrier. Now, if you're playing a glaive or a cannon, then of course you can get a barrier via various abilities, but you'll have to choose to equip that ability, and you can get a barrier via your consumables. But the Mason Shield is the only one that can get it, part of its core kit. And both of the glaive and the cannon also have their own thing, which is accessible via other means, but they have a unique mechanic in their core kit as well. So
Jared says he likes the physicality. It's nice and punchy.
Yeah, well, this is pretty
good way to summarise it.
And there's the parry.
By the way, that was the secret way to get into the training area from the hub. So that's how you get there if you need it anytime.
So with these sets, so I'll just show something off here. So with your vanish ability, if you press B, then you can go invisible, and he doesn't know where I am. And if you creep up on him, you can do.
I felt like he was trying to.
He was trying to suss me out. Yeah. Then you could do that attack. But I'm just going to wait for it to come off cooldown, because now that we have the set equipped, it gains an extra effect. But I need to perfectly time it, which I won't be able to do that one. So I'll wait for him to do a different attack. Stunned now.
He's stunned now. Oh, he's having a nice little nap. It's nap time for him. Chilling.
What? And now we leave behind this large explosion. Which
Whoa, that does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
What was that tutorial for, the burn?
Which one? Oh, well, that's because we made him burning.
Yeah.
So in our game, we have what's called status effects. So that's the fire one. Fire was burning. And then there's electric, there's disrupt, there's cryo. So you can do all sorts of different status effects. And that's that one. So all the time the tutorials will pop as and when you sort of actually get the feature that they relate to. So we just set them on fire. So I've got a tutorial that explains it. I can quickly show that if you like.
Yeah.
These are all the different
ones we've unlocked, So these are all the different types of damage. There's loads of different types, and they all have different effects. And maybe we should explain detonation as well, because I think that's a fairly unique kind of concept.
I'll show the detonations off. This is the set that's all about detonations. So I don't know if you remember, but we had a look at that tutorial, the Weapons of the Curious Front, and it says elemental shot will detonate all status effects. So in our game, status effects have kind of 2 stages. They have the stage where you apply the status effect, and that has an effect. It's going to help you hurt the enemy, but then you can detonate them and create even more powerful effects. So we'll put this down. Oh, it's decided to leave. So we can see that we're building them up now. So we'll build up our disrupted.
I love that. I love that. It looks so cool.
And then once we've got disrupted, actually I'll take a bit of damage because otherwise hit me again. You don't see it. Now that I've taken a bit of damage, I can breach the disrupt, and that will actually heal me up. So that's
Yeah, it's nice, that one. Oh, he's freezing.
And now he's shocked and frozen, and if I wait for my elemental shot, then you'll see me freeze and electrocute him, because those are the
Get him!
detonations that are associated with
Wow.
that.
That's a good endgame vibe. Destroy him. I feel a bit bad. I feel a bit bad for him now. We've gone all out on him.
Yeah, you do that. I love this set because it's just so many numbers on screen. You just get every coloured number, every effect, it's basically everything all at once.
Just a reminder, this is an endgame set, so you won't be this powerful from the start, obviously. But, yeah.
No, these take quite some effort to collect, but when you do get them, they're basically game changing. You know, your whole kind of play style will change when you get hold of them. I can show that now actually with the glaive. So you saw us use the glaive earlier, and we had the glaive early game set on, and I was using my riposte ability, which allowed me to stab the enemy after I'd riposted them. But now with this one, I can do that multiple times.
We wanted to have like a leaderboard for like a player that would get the most. It gets harder every time. And what's the biggest churn we've had so far? Like 26 or something?
I think so, but Luke said he thought we got a higher one, but I've not seen a video for that. So
evidence.
I'm going to wait until
that's sad.
we've got video evidence of it. Yeah, so you can see I took out almost this whole health bar just with one ability there because I was able to keep chaining it. But that's the unique effect of the set. So without the set, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like we need to talk to some NPCs now. We need to talk to John the blacksmith. And
so you probably recognise that's where we started the demo. So if you want to come back here, then you can just follow this
the secret passage.
Oh, you want to go the secret way or
the secret way?
The secret way.
Boom, boom, boom. Big up, Mr. Kent. Indeed.
Well, this is where.
This is what I was mentioning earlier. That we should talk to Lynette first while we're here. Then she's just chilling up a ladder doing her thing.
Busy with this statue.
Yeah, I mean that is the most interesting thing she's got.
I heard someone important had arrived. Yes, indeed. From Duquesne's.
We should let chat pick the options.
Rude.
Chat, you need to tell us. Do you want to be a nice character or do you want to be a little bit rude?
Yeah, you can.
We'll be rude for now.
As good as you get in this game. Yeah.
But let us know what you want. We'll do that.
But you didn't say no to the money either.
You can.
Jared's
put like an angry face. I see how it is. We want to be rude to the
this
NPCs,
one, you get a little bit impatient with her.
Nice to meet you. I'm here by invitation.
She's actually quite kind and friendly.
Just a civilian after all.
In the demo, most of the dialogue sort of relates to introductory, so the NPCs will you'll get an idea of what they do. You won't be able to progress their quests or anything, but in this case, Lynette being the archaeologist, she's interested in the ancient history of this place.
For me inside, so I can go and take a look. You'd still have Edmund.
Just got the demo downloaded. Wish me luck. Good luck. RIP 20. I believe in you. You've had the developer tips. Make sure you use consumables. Make sure you read the tutorials and know what the abilities do.
Yeah. Again, you can look at the abilities in your character sheet.
Yeah. Second tab in the character sheet. Vicky says, "Lol, love being rude because I'm so nice in real life." I know you can do it without any consequences. That's the thing.
Well, there are consequences in the main game. Your dialogue choices matter a great deal.
Yeah.
In terms of picking different dialogue options will take the quest in different directions sometimes. So sometimes you do have to be careful about how you choose to respond.
GS Healer says sound design is top tier. Thank you. Our sound designer will be so happy.
He loves getting compliments.
He loves getting compliments. Also, audio is sometimes underappreciated, but especially for combat, it makes a huge difference in how the combat feels. And he's worked very, very hard. I know that he's done so many like iterations of different abilities and stuff, and they always sound so like juicy. So, Chris, if you're watching, you've done an excellent job. Vicky says, "I love that it's fully voiced." Yeah, I agree. It does help. It does help a lot.
That's a really interesting question, actually. So the used consumables, they're not for hoarding. So that is. I think we've got a gamer on our hands here. So that's something that we thought a lot about actually when we designed our consumable system, because I'm the same. In a lot of games that I play, I feel the need to hoard them, and then I've got an inventory full of consumables, and I've just beaten the final boss. I'm like, well, what do I do with these now? So in our game, we try to make the consumables really powerful. That's one thing. So they're very strong. They're an important part of the combat flow. You will really feel the difference when you use them, but also they're plentiful. You can easily restock, and I can show that here actually. We'll just do the introductory dialogue, but this guy, he is he'll introduce himself, but we can buy more consumables from him.
We decided we're being rude. The chat has decided so.
Okay. I don't think you'll be that rude to Roland.
No.
He's a friendly guy.
Yeah, I feel like
He's a
you're
wise
rude
man.
only if people are rude to you a lot of the
Yeah.
time. You can be a bit rude to John.
Well, actually,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you can be rude. Go on then.
there we go.
I feel bad.
Piss
I feel
off.
bad.
But Roland,
He takes it in good
he's a
spirit.
magnanimous chap. He's not a rise to the occasion. He's seen it all before. That's kind of
Yeah.
his character. He's seen it all
Yeah.
before.
He serves the pints,
He
he does
does.
indeed.
Yeah, you can buy alcohol. You can drink a lot of alcohol in this game. Actually, it shows something.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's found it.
No.
More than you might think. It's not an easy business, but
I'll show the ale in a second.
I love his accent as well.
I wasn't
Oh, yes.
always
Yeah.
a mere
good.
shopkeeper.
Actually, I suppose a little anecdote there. The actor is one of the most versatile actors that I've ever worked with. He can do any accent in the world, and he was a bit surprised when I said, "Why don't you just try your natural accent?" Because it was a long session and we had a lot of lines to get through, and I thought it might make him more comfortable, and I really liked it. So, and then he
Yeah.
delivered a great
It sounds-
Scottish version of Roland.
Yeah, he sounds really good.
Led quite the sheltered existence.
I'm terrible at
If you think
accents,
that
so I'm not
was
going to
the
try.
end.
I've got my Yorkshire one and that's all I've got.
Yeah, so here we are. So we get some Auden Brown Ale. So maybe not everyone knows this, but our studio, we're in Newcastle, in the northeast of England, and Newcastle's very famous for its brown ale. So that's.
I've never tried it, you know,
Me neither. I
which
don't
makes me
drink,
feel bad. I don't. I can. I'll drink oat really, but I ain't had any brown ale.
Well, maybe some honey mead.
I do
that
like
suit
it.
you-
I
more
do-
suit
I
your
did
fancy?
used to like a mead, although I don't have honey. So
Do you have a curiosity in other cultures?
yeah.
Very good.
So yeah. For
Well, let's
me,
buy
that
it
one.
then. We'll buy that.
To buy that,
This is very expensive though, because it's
buy it. We
Cham-
want
it's
the
basically
good
champagne.
stuff.
the good stuff.
Sparkling wine, that's not champagne.
Champagne is sparkling wine.
Well,
So,
it's what you call it, the cheap stuff.
But,
you that's what they call the cheap
well,
stuff.
that's the expensive version in this world. I can't call it champagne, can I? That's a bit on the
Oh,
nose.
no.
So I came up with Saint-Louis wine.
Yeah, that
Sounds
makes sense.
French, right?
Yeah.
But you can also unlock new rows here, so we're going to do that. We're not all three actually. We gave you a bit of money in the demo, so when you come
Oh,
back,
I like the explosive grenades.
should we
Get
buy
them. Get them bad boys in the inventory, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you can restock on consumables fairly easily. So we wanted to make consumables really strong. We wanted to make so you didn't feel bad using them. You can restock. So that was a big discussion we had. So
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Good stuff. Right, are you stocked up? Are we good?
I'm just having a look.
Do you know what we
I
need
might
to
take
do?
some of these actually, because there is a fire cartogram,
Yeah.
and buying the fire resistance will help us a lot. There, we can show this as well though.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we picked up. You may have seen us pick up random stuff as we were going.
Why does so one of our developers really likes this one, the rusted
Why?
fingernail. He's obsessed with it. He's
Why?
like, I'm going to send you it in the mail. I'm just going to send you some rusted
I
fingernail.
think it's just because it's like the most useless thing you could possibly imagine. There's a lot of useless things that, for some reason, Roland is happy to pay you money for all of this.
You don't know what he's
Yeah.
maybe he's making a nice collage. You know,
Collage.
he's making a
Well, he's
little
got-
memory book. He's
He
journaling.
does like to collect things. He's got this guy
He's got
hanging
a
up on his wall.
servitor.
Yeah.
He's journaling. No judgment, Roland.
Oh wait, are we still being rude?
Yeah, the
We can
chat
call
wanted
him
us to
a
be rude.
simpleton if we want.
Oh no, I feel bad. Oh, we've done it.
He doesn't mind. He's seen it all before. And you can be sarcastic as well.
That's really awful.
Quid in luce
No, it's fine with it.
eternitatis.
Quid de luce eternitatis.
It's
So, if anyone's curious, that means what is it in light of eternity? So, part of our world, there's Latin is used in colloquialisms. So, just in the way that we might say it is what it is as a phrase, in our world, the phrase is quid de luce eternitatis.
They have shogunai in Japanese.
In
which I
shogunai,
love.
is it?
It's shogunai. Similar sentiment.
So, one thing we can do here, which is kind of like a quality of life little feature, is some of these treasures, it says there can be sold for a small sum, can be sold for a moderate sum, can be sold for a large sum.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of the treasures you pick up, they're just good for money. What's
Get the
that?
guano.
The guano can be sold for a reasonable sum.
Why would anyone want a pile of poo?
You'd have to ask Roland. That's all it's good for. Is
So
selling.
you send that in the mail.
Uh,
Send that in the mail to everybody.
So, well, asynchronous features are disabled in the demo. But Sally keeps mentioning the mail. In the main game, you can actually send things to each other. We have some online features, not online multiplayer, but sort of you can send mail, you can trade, things like that.
Yeah.
But the quality of life feature I was just going to show off there is you can press X or whatever the keyboard control is if you're using keyboard and mouse, and it will do a quick sell. And so the game will automatically detect all the items that are only useful for selling. Because I know I've played games where I've looked at an item and I've been scared to sell it because I thought, is it useful for something else? And I just haven't found out what it is yet. But in our game, if it is definitely only useful for selling, then you're safe to sell it.
That makes me unreasonably happy.
Yeah, it takes a load off your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're just like, right, okay, I know I'm good, and I'm not selling materials that I need for other things. Just makes me happy. Yeah, it's very
so we got
satisfying.
ourselves a bit of extra money there.
Let's look at the lizard.
Oh, the lizard. This is crazy popular. This guy's the MVP of the demo.
Yeah, look at him. He's called Pawhan. He's a little lizard. He's managing the stall while the stall's owner is on important business.
You know, a lot of people think that he is the stall's owner. They don't know that there's a.
I know.
Well, you just let it slip.
I have.
What if?
He's just an imposter. He's just an imposter.
There he
Look
is.
at him. He's looking at you expectantly. People keep asking if they can pet the lizard, and you currently can't, but
No.
maybe you'll be able to.
I love his animation
in the
though.
future.
Scratches his tummy.
Why is he called Pawhan? I don't remember. It was something. It was a
Some
joke.
inside joke.
Some in joke.
Yeah.
But that's his name now. We got too used to it.
So, well, this is just
more alcohol.
More alcohol. Let's buy it.
Stop some of that.
Another quality of life feature,
Stocking up.
as it says at the top, you might have read it already, is that if you accidentally leave an item behind in the ziggurat, or while you're exploring the levels in the monolith, then this stall here is for hoovering up lost loot. There's only a limited number of slots, so eventually you'll have to leave it behind. But if you do accidentally leave something really important, don't worry, you can just go and buy it. It will cost you though, you'll have to buy it.
The lizard's, he drives a hard bargain, does the lizard. He's not collecting all your bits and bobs for free,
Not
you
for
know.
free, no.
He's only a little guy, he's got to carry all that.
Collect.
I know, he's got all this stuff.
Although you did let slip that he's not doing it by himself.
He's not doing it, he's got a companion. He's not the companion, he's the main man. But yeah. So this is John, he's based on my dad. He's from Yorkshire.
Should we let him introduce himself?
Yeah.
I'll do.
Are we still being rude?
Oh,
can be nice to
no,
John.
can we please be nice to John? Let's be I'm being nice to John.
Well, how do you say that?
Fair to middling.
For Midland.
Hang about.
Hang about, another northerner.
Pleased to meet you. This is the workshop.
John is one of the more friendly NPCs when you first meet him. A lot of the characters, they're a bit standoffish because of, well, they've been through a tough time themselves. So.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's lovely.
You won't find a better
Won't
forge
find a better forge.
in all the known worlds.
We'll have a look at the forge in a sec.
Do you know what, the way northerners say lovely is very specific, and he's done it.
I think that the voice actor for this is a northern man. He's not.
Yes,
He's not putting on an accent. It's
No, we can't have an
authentic
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
I would have been upset if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Most immersive northern dialogue, yes, indeed.
Exactly. So in the main game, this guy's probably the most important NPC from a gameplay point of view. There's other NPCs that have perhaps more dramatic quest lines, but here you can identify the loot that you find, which means that you can then equip it. You can craft new abilities. We've simplified this in the demo by just making it so there's no items required, and we just charge you money for it. In the main game, though, you'll often have to collect additional items to craft more abilities. And then there's a whole gear modification system. We won't go into that because it's not really recommended in the demo because, again, we've pre-made you a lot of loadouts and a lot of sets to use. But if in the main game, to refine your build, you'll definitely want to be using the crafting and modification system to get the exact stats that you want. So it's to synergize with what you're trying to do.
Have you drank any water? That's the rule on stream. I've got
Is
this
it
obnoxiously large water bottle that's
hydration
got
time?
like some real characters on it. So yeah, stay hydrated, everyone.
What weapon should we play next? I might purchase an ability.
Let the chat decide. Do you want us to play Cannon next, or do you want us to play Mason Shield next? Let us know what you want. Also, if you're just joining us, hello. And to everyone that's hung around for the duration, thanks very much.
Is the forge.
Oh yeah, this is John's forge. He forges all of his weapons. Sazman. That's Alex, isn't it? Hello, Alex. Cannon, please.
Well, shall
Cannon,
we?
please.
Oh, let's do this dialogue. We can ask him how his forge is doing, and he tells us about how he's made some modifications,
Bits and bobs from inside.
and he's quite pleased with
Crafty,
himself.
isn't it?
Hiya, you alright? Thanks for
Have it the
joining.
It's all about
So John is
trial and
he's very experimental type of guy.
great scientific breakthroughs when you
Sometimes
think
you
about
have to
it.
roll the
You
dice.
do?
Sometimes you just have to.
Cannon enjoy his fries up. Yay! I think because it's hard to master, a lot of people are like, oh.
I'll
too
show it
hard.
off. I'll talk more about it when we actually start into the gameplay. But there's a lot of like tricks you can do with the cannon that make the experience a lot smoother. But he's going to ask us to bring us some treasures. So you can start this quest in the demo, but you won't be able to get very far with it. But in the main
That's
game,
all for now.
I strongly recommend doing John's quest as a priority because you unlock some new features in the Forge, and those features will help you a lot in terms of making your character stronger.
The game has a lot of features. You've probably realised by now. For an indie game, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. So yeah, we'll switch to the cannon now.
Should we do cannon end game or early game?
Let's do one early game,
Yeah.
and then we'll do another, and let chat decide what we do for the end game one. I think that's cool.
And then I was going to change. I was just going to use a different ability.
I feel like the cannon has the highest skill ceiling, but that may be me coping because I'm bad at it. Yeah, it is the hardest one, I think.
Don't worry, we'll show.
Vicky says it's very impressive. Yay, that is good.
I'm going to make sure that we have some fire consumables available to us.
Well, you know what's gonna happen, so
Yes.
yeah.
You wanted to use grenades though as well, didn't you?
Yeah, explosive grenade. But is that bad because of the fire?
Why?
I don't know.
No.
I have a resist.
No, there's fire grenades and explosive grenades. So explosive.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, explosive in our game is actually, you can think of it like true damage. It doesn't have a counteractive resistance. So there's all the different elements, fire, electric, and you can get resistances to those. And that's why I equipped this one here, fire resist. If we do a fire cartogram, this will help us out a lot. But explosive damage doesn't have any counteractive resistance. I will take the alcohol though.
By the way, if there's anyone new just joining us, hello. We are playing Empyreal. We are the developers. So yeah, we've just done our first level. We've had a chat to some of the NPCs, and now we're trying out the cannons. So there's 3 different weapon types in Empyreal, and we've just played with the glaive. So yeah, chat has decided we are now playing with the cannon. So
Check out what chat
also new level. This is Mind and Truth. And this is, I really love this level because a lot of the levels are interiors, but this one is technically, law-wise, it is an interior, but it has the feeling that it's an exterior. It has like this fake, like digital sky. It's just really cool. There's a mini-mage there jumping into the well.
The mini-mage is a mischievous boy. He gets into all sorts of trouble. He's
He
almost
does.
become a character in himself. He's technically just an enemy type, but he's got a lot of personality.
It's because he's sassy, that's why.
Yeah.
There's one here, isn't there?
Very
Is there
difficult.
not?
There's one we're going to fight.
Yeah, we're going to fight him.
So here we are.
We're going to fight the little mini-mage. He has a little,
There's
it kind
the-
of sounds like a minion.
Yeah.
His voice is like,
Oh, you
He's
mean
trying
from
to
like Despicable Me?
yeah, he's like a little minion.
So
You look cool in that gear. I like this
yeah,
gear. That helmet's cool.
it's a bit Roman inspired.
Looks mint.
That's you might have seen that in other areas of the game. You can almost always look up and see that looming over you. And in the main game, in the story, that's ultimately where you're trying to get to. But to get there, you'll have to go through a lot.
Yes, indeed.
So one thing I'll show, there was one streamer we were watching and she paid real attention to this, and I was very happy because she was looking at things which not everyone noticed. So you can look at this is a cartogram, which we didn't talk about, but in our game, cartograms are the levels that you play, and you can get a lot of preview about what you're going to end up facing. So you can see that we're going to fight a boss captain. So he's got Empower, Heatwave, Summon Minions, so we know about that. He tells us what he's going to drop.
Apologies, by the way, if there's background noise. There's a building site
sure.
outside, so just sorry about that. If you can hear stuff on the mic.
It will also tell us what element it is. So we talked before about fire, which is why we bought some fire resistance. It's a medium difficulty. That difficulty actually updates in real time. So if we changed our gear, and we got worse gear or better gear, that will actually change. But something you can do is you can switch the panel. It says down there, press the Y button, and then you can read a little description which sort of fleshes out a bit of the lore of the game as you learn about what this place really is. And so I've only seen one person read all the description, and I was very happy that, yeah. So
There's a lot of lore like hidden in the iron descriptions and stuff like that. So I'd definitely, if that's what you're into, definitely recommend having a nosy.
So with the cannon, the first thing I'll recommend, as with every weapon, is to make sure you're using your abilities. Abilities are very strong. You put up a barrier there, that guy's going to try and shoot us.
Dodge.
And my barrier protected me. It absorbs all the damage, and then it gives me a barrier. The second thing with the cannon to get to master is managing your ammo and leveling up your ammo. So the best and most efficient way to level up your ammo is actually to perform a perfect backspin. So if you stand still and then you press your defensive ability, which is LB,
Oh, I love that.
then you can fire off. Put that down so it absorbs that.
Yeah, don't get that. That was a weakening curse by a mini mage, so you don't want that. Definitely not.
Finish off him. But you can see my ammo is now yellow and I've got orange ammo on my middle, so I've leveled it up a bit. And then I can level it up again by doing my backspin. So the backspin will do a ton of damage because enables what's called fan the hammer. So after you've backspinned, if you hit your normal fire button while you're still in the backspin animation, you get to fire those projectiles back. They do a ton of damage, as you saw. In addition to that, it reloads your ammo. So if you don't like this little mini game where you have to reload your ammo like this, you have to like land it on the correct zone, then you can actually just reload your ammo via backspin. And the backspin will also level up your ammo. So to level up your ammo normally, you would have to reload and land on a perfect reload. And you can only do a perfect reload if you've damaged an enemy, which is why I can't do it just now while it's showing you there. So yeah, those are some really quick fire tips for the cannon. But a lot of it is just sort of getting familiar with how these little mini games work.
It has been quite hard to design encounters where like a ranged weapon and a close like melee weapon works, but like a melee weapon. But I think it's working, especially if you're figuring out the right way to use the combinations of the cannon abilities. Definitely helps to know. He's vanished.
You got him.
But you knew where it was.
Yeah, keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Whoop. He's gone again.
But I had my barrier.
Oh, he got your little.
He did.
But you had your barrier.
That's the barrier,
so
yeah. And the barrier, just in case it wasn't obvious, because you can see I'm not actually using my consumables. This one here does give me a barrier, you saw that there.
Yep.
But this is coming from this. So when an enemy hits this and it absorbs damage, once this expires, it will give me a barrier. Something else you can do, which maybe a bit overwhelming, but there is another thing you can do, which is if you put the protective screen down, which is on cooldown at the moment, and then enemies hit it, you can walk through it yourself and you get a damage buff. So it's kind of like you can decide, do you want to be defensive or offensive? So if you want the damage boost, then you just walk through it. But if you want to get the barrier, then you can just let it expire and it will give you a big barrier which will protect your health.
Are you saving it up for the boss?
No, I'll probably use it on
Kind
this
of
next
want
one.
to see it.
I mentioned before how we have the different checkpoints. So this is the unique model for minor trees. So all the quadrants have their own unique model for the checkpoints.
That looks like I don't know, it's sort of mechanical, compassy type.
Something else which we talked a little bit about with Invigorating Smash, but we didn't really mention it with one of the ones that is sort of gives you an extra benefit, is that some abilities in our game you can hold them down and they become more powerful. So I've got a couple of abilities here that do that. If I hold it down, I'm just gonna. Oh,
Got you.
not me.
We got you.
I'm gonna use ultimate.
Yeah. I love that. Feels powerful. Parting gift run.
Nope, we don't.
Oh, you got it.
We're backspin.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Pro gamer over here. Living your best life.
So I didn't show it there actually, so I'll just show it here. While it was, but yes, if we hold the ability down and then we wait for the little ting, you actually get this little extra camera cut. And then the same thing here, you get a little extra camera cut, and it will just do a lot more damage than it normally does when you time it perfectly.
We should get a spike at some point. I want to show everyone.
I think I spent all my money actually. I've only got 3,000.
Yeah, I have my favourite ability is called Spike, and it is in the demo. So I'm sure we'll find a way to show you that at some point. But yeah, it's one of my faves.
One thing I didn't show is that this level is actually massive, and you can see there's a chest over there. So there's actually a whole alternative route you can take in this level, and you can go around that way instead. And that way is actually, maybe we should have gone that way. That way, there was more enemies there. It's harder, but you get more.
Let's do it. Can we not go back that way?
Can we go? We can go back. Yeah.
Sure.
I guess as we're going pretty fast, I'm not going to hunt down every single
Yeah.
nook and cranny.
No. I'm going to show off all of the.
Actually, can we get back up? I don't think we can get back.
No, I think maybe not. I think once you've jumped down.
Once you've jumped down,
then yeah, you can't. But
you can't get back.
But still.
If you're playing the demo, you can try going that way.
Try going that way.
It's a tougher combat, but you'll get more chests as a reward for that.
Hello, Aaron. Do you still get the damage boost if you Invigorating Smash through the protective screen? I'm sensing an ability combo there.
I don't think that's a specific combo, but there are definitely combos to do for sure. Like you can think about how sort of abilities interact with each other. If you push yourself through the projector screen using Invigorating Smash, then what would happen is you just get 2 damage boosts. So Invigorating Smash would give you a buff, and then Projectile Screen would also give you a buff, and they would stack. So if you mean by combo like stacking, then yeah. If the sources of damage are different, then they'll stack up, and then you'll just be doing even more damage.
Stepwise Urchin said the stream is so high quality I can't watch without stuttering. There will be a VOD, so hopefully you'll be able to watch then if there's any problems with the stream, but I am excited for the game. Yay, that's good, I'm glad. Thank you very much for checking in and having a look at the game. If you want to play for yourself, there is a demo for Next Fest right now, and that is up. There's a link down below, I guess it's below, or on our Twitch page, so you can get to that. And if you like the look of the game, please wishlist it. I'm sure, like some of you know, that wishlists are very helpful for developers. So if you intend to, keep in check with the game and play the demo and stuff, then please wishlist it. And also, if you have time to leave us a review, we'd really appreciate that. Player feedback is obviously very important to us. The game's not out yet, so yeah, we have time.
So this is the boss teleporter, but I just thought I'd show a little bit more combat because we've gone through this level quite quickly because I've just been murdering everyone. Because the cannon is very, very strong, especially once you've leveled up your ammo. You can see my level ammo is orange now. We can even make it red and then just shred this guy.
Can you stack all buffs or just damage?
All buffs. If you some endgame gear that you'll get, some endgame sets even, they you can get some pretty crazy stuff altogether. You can have you see in the bottom, your buffs will stack up on top of your health bar. You can stack those like 16 different buffs all stacked up together. It can get pretty ridiculous if that's what you want to do. I mean, I could show that a little bit actually because we've got some alcohol. So let's drink. Should we drink some?
Let's have a drink. Yeah.
Let's have a drink. This
is hydration check now. So have some water or some Newcastle brown ale. If you've got any of that at all.
Which should we drink first? The Newcastle brown ale?
Yeah, the Auden brown ale.
So we'll take a swig. We'll toss that bottle away. Another one?
Yeah, another one.
Here we go, look at all these buffs. Okay. So I'll show something actually, because I'm really proud of this feature, because I've played a lot of RPGs that don't do this, that don't tell you all the effects that are affecting your character. But if we see that we've got all these buffs now, and then we go into our character sheet, and you can see at the bottom we've got active effects. So if we press X, we'll get a whole menu, and we can read about all the different effects that are affecting our character, and it will even tell us how much time is left on the effect, and it will even tell us where the source of the effect is. So we're actually becoming inebriated. We're ready to take on the world. Who wants some? This is an effect which is unique because these effects are given by the alcohol itself. So honey mead will always do agility up and steadfast up, and Auden brown ale will always do energy up and healing over time. But if you drink any type of alcohol, you'll gradually stack. I didn't show it, but the first level is tipsy. So you become tipsy, inebriated, and then do we want to risk it? Should we become plastered?
Plastered.
So plastered is now actually a debuff because we're starting to get dangerous.
Oh, yeah. Vicky said that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
A bit late for that now. One more and you might be done for.
Oh no.
Shall we? Uh-oh.
What? No, not more.
Oh.
It warned you. It warned you. There is a danger there. There's a.
Don't drink too much, everyone.
Yes,
that's the lesson
rule. The
that's to be learned
rule.
here.
Stick to your water. It's good.
Yeah. One of the features in our game, which again, so someone talked earlier about the desire to kind of hoard consumables. So another way that we encourage you to use them is that if you use them and then you die, you actually get them back. So if you use them and then you succeed, then of course they're consumed. But you can see we've actually got all of our alcohol here that we drank, even though we died. So I'll use them on the boss.
We're unbothered, hydrated in our own quadrant. That's funny.
Well, let's not do that again because that was
everything
in moderation. We don't need to drink.
Now you can drink again. Now we're ready. It's round two.
Okay, round two.
No.
No, we'll do one.
We'll do one. We'll take it steady this time.
Some champagne.
I've got the stream running. Oh, that's good. Amazing. I'm glad it's working for you now. That's good.
So this is actually an effect we didn't show before. So yeah, we've got elemental attack up, status attack up, but we're feeling a little bit tipsy. You feel emboldened but somewhat unsteady.
That's how I feel on a daily basis.
Oh, okay. You're not drinking at work, are you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So this checkpoint took us to the very top of the tower. So I love this. This is cool. You can actually see out
onto the whole environment. That is very cool. For some reason, it's just very tempting to just yeet yourself off.
I mean,
I don't know what that says
I
about
think
me,
everyone
but-
could predict what's happening. So here's a tip for you, for everyone, because if people watching the stream will give you a little tip. That crater over there, it might contain some secrets.
It might. In the
beginning
full
of
game.
that's a whole level actually that you can play. The beginning of the level is like where my head is, I think. The tip of my
it is.
helmet.
Yeah.
But if you make your way, it's a long way. You can't really tell from here, but it's a long way. If you make your way all the way over there, in the crater,
Yeah.
you might get a little secret.
Yes. Yeah, you'll have to check out the main
Look at
game
the
for
boss.
that. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Boss round 2.
New cutscene. As you can see, it's a different cutscene this time because it's a different type of boss.
Pow, pow, pow. Ooh. I say no.
Give me little hints, little teasers.
I know
You
you
want
get
to
an
be rewarded
exclusive.
for watching the stream, right?
Exactly, that's what it is.
So he's been powered up to fight him and all his minions.
He's rallying the troops.
Oh yes, well then he buffs them as well, yes.
Yep. Bam.
I think this cutscene is great, I really like it.
Yeah. I like it when like the little servitor's like healing him up.
Oh yeah.
He's like welding his gear and stuff. It's cute. Cute but also deadly. It's not what you want. Bam. This is good.
So something that's quite cool is in our game, if you kill a minion that's associated with a boss, then it will actually damage the boss. So you can kind of choose whether or not you want to focus on the boss or focus on the minions.
I think it is helpful to usually clear out the minions unless they're kind of low level or they're not really bothering you. I always try and clear them out and then focus on him for a bit, and then you can resummon them sometimes. So that's
Just more meat for the grinding.
Yeah.
In fact, I should show you that. There's a guy trying to hide over here.
Oh, he's got scared. He's seen you've taken out the rest of his chums. And he's like, I don't want that in my life. Oh, see, he's resummoned them. That's the thing.
So these ones should damage the boss when you kill them. You can see that
Yeah.
little red damage
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Oh, I use the ult again.
I don't like that.
Nearly there.
Almost there. In fact, I'll go over here with the ultimate because then I'll gather them all up.
Yeah, gather them. The bombardiers do a lot of damage. They obviously stand at the side and shoot rockets at you and stuff, so that can be quite punishing. Now I'm going to the black hole. There's a few people being caught out by that parting gift, when I'm watching the streams, which I totally
Well,
understand.
you always
why.
react to it, and I'm always like, chill.
I'm always like, oh, no,
It's
it
coming.
scares me because it's going right for you.
We have a stream that we pre-recorded and it's playing on our Steam page, and there's actually that happens in that stream. As
My-
well.
yeah.
We killed the boss, and then the
'Cause I'm
parting gift
nervous.
came after us.
Yeah. How many different moves can a boss have?
Well, that's a more complicated question you might realise
Mhm.
because in our game we have dedicated bosses, so they'll always appear only as bosses and they have their own moves. But in addition to that, because of our cartogram system, which somewhat randomly generates levels, we actually have an enemy that can be assigned to be a boss, and then they get given abilities from a pool. So there's about 50 of those abilities. So this is a sorcerer, and the sorcerer has his own abilities, and in this case he's been given summon minions, empower and absorb. But he could have been given different abilities. He could have been given Fireball, he could have been given Thunderstorm, he could have been given Blizzard. We've got all sorts of different elemental abilities. So yeah, you will fight bosses which are sort of only bosses, but you'll also fight enemies who have been leveled up to be bosses, and then they'll be given new abilities from this big pool of boss abilities. That's kind of a unique system. So it's just trying to add more variety and when you play a cartogram, it shouldn't feel the same, even if you're playing the same level layout.
Yeah.
I think one of those just fell off. We'll have to talk to Lizard. The lizard
No, the lizard's going to hoover that up
Yeah,
somehow.
It's fine.
Into the bottle. Whee.
Yeah, so hopefully that was interesting to watch for people who are curious about the cannon. You saw that I could switch between the ammos. It's very important to obviously rely on your abilities to get the barrier up, the protective screen. And you saw me use backspin a lot. That is, I would strongly recommend learning that move. It really does help you level up your ammo quickly, and it does a lot of damage when you do it as well.
This is kind of a natural end for the demo. However, if you want to continue playing, there is more sets, there is more cartograms, so we're going to continue playing and we're going to do some of that extra stuff. Like, we wanted people to have a really, really good slice of what Empyreal is, so we allow players to continue beyond what's just the starting point of the demo, I guess. But yeah, like I say, join our feedback, our Discord if you've got any feedback. Stepwise Urchin says, are there bosses that are as big as the statue in the first level of the game?
Which statue is that? Oh, the
It's
statue
one
we looked at. Not as big as that. I would say the final boss is pretty big, but it's not. We're not. I don't think we're going for that. Giant bosses design. Maybe in the future, but in this game, some of the. I mean, this guy we fought him here. He's about as big as our enemies get. If you remember you can just show him again really quickly. Yeah.
There is some well, no, that's a spoiler.
Oh,
I won't.
careful.
I won't say that. Yeah. Spoilers. But yeah, no, that's a good question.
There's another enemy that's maybe a bit bigger than this guy, but this is about as big as the enemies get in our game.
Yeah, it's very important that like you're not getting sort of lost in things. We want the telegraphing to be very obvious to the player, and
that's true. I mean, if the boss was too big, you might not be able to see his. That's something we didn't talk about actually. You've probably seen it already, but you can actually see the enemy abilities as cast bars under their names. So obviously that has to stay on screen. At all times.
Yep. So, should we... Vicky says, spoilers! No! I know. I'm terrible for revealing spoilers and just telling everyone the secrets.
We haven't shown the Mason Shield yet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So we should do the Mason Shield.
And we haven't shown an endgame cartogram yet, so maybe we should do the endgame.
Let's do that, yeah.
Should we go and talk to Edmund first, though?
Yeah, we
I think people like Edmund.
Yeah, we haven't talked to him really.
Edmund's one of my favourite characters. I like him.
It's because he's the meanest guy.
What is it now?
What is it now? He's very impatient. I love that line.
Worse by better.
He's always got a response though. No matter what you say, he's always got something that he could flip it around on you.
Sharp, isn't he?
Honest men. Whatever they are charging you will be a fair.
We got this dialogue because we talked to Roland and John. If we hadn't talked to them yet, we'd have actually had a different dialogue option there. But he's going to give us some money. So in the main game, I do recommend talking to Edmund often because even though he is a bit brusque with you, maybe secretly he wants you to succeed.
Let's see.
Show lizard.
Chris says show lizard. We showed the lizard, Chris. Also, someone complimented your sounds, Chris. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, was that Chris? I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
So actually, well, we did. Did I actually?
We did lose a look. So let's go and say hello to the lizard. We should go back to him every time. Make sure he's not lonely.
But we didn't get these as well. So let's.
Okay, cool.
But this is what we dropped. We dropped. It was a disrupt grenade.
Stepwise Urchin says, I thought he gave me money because I chose to be nice with him.
Welcome.
Oh
no,
he'll give you that money anyway. Like I said, he might secretly want you to succeed, even though he's.
Mo says copium. Nobody complimented your sounds, Christine. They did actually. They did.
They did.
I complimented them as well.
We can watch the VOD. We've got evidence.
We've got evidence of the compliment. Chris loves compliments. He gives them to himself sometimes too. Yeah. So you've got to do that now and then. You've got to be proud of your own work, haven't you? That's how it goes.
Is it time?
It's time to use Spike. Spike's my favourite. Also, hello Mo. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining. Chris has put the little pleading eye emoji. We're not bullying our sound designer, I promise. We're being nice.
So let's go Mace Endgame.
Mace Endgame.
But at Sally's special request, we are also going to use
Watch
Spike.
the little video. Spike is my favourite ability because it's simple, but it's very impactful. It just feels just good fun. Also, in the main game, it's like a starting ability, and I'm just very attached to it. I think I mentioned earlier, I just get attached to my builds and my playstyle and my weapon. So,
actually, maybe we want to use.
Also, Spike is a shared ability, so you can use it. Yeah, there's abilities that you can only use with certain weapons, and then there's shared abilities which you can use with any. So that obviously creates a good combination of different ability sets that you can get. So yeah, we're gonna have Spike. Which we're very excited.
Let's show off Meteoric Slam as well.
Oh, Meteoric Slam's really cool.
There's so much money.
This is cool.
For this set, actually, the two abilities that we really want to use are Vanish and Drain Essence. But we'll just show off a few more. Because the set, again, it's actually something you can do. So once you've got one of the sets equipped, which is you get it from your saved loadouts, then you can go into your character sheet, you can press the A button where it says switch to item view, and then you scroll down with the right stick, and then you can read about what the set bonuses do. So we give you a tutorial for all sets, and I do recommend reading that. But if you ever want a reminder, you can find the tutorial in the menu, but you can also read the actual individual bonuses. So you can see here it says 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many pieces we have equipped. So in this case, again, it's a pre-made. So we've got all 7 pieces equipped. So we get the final bonus unlocked, and that's the one that generates that explosion after we do a perfectly timed vanish.
Iridum says, if you had to choose one of the NPCs as a housemate, who would you choose? Well, for me, it would be John the blacksmith, because he's based on my dad. So obviously, I grew up in Bradford with my family. So basically, housemates as it was, you know. But what about you?
We've got some more guys to talk to. I don't know if we want to jump to gameplay or continue doing some of the
Yeah, we
NPCs.
should talk to some more that we haven't.
Morris is my favourite character.
You'd hang out with Morris?
Yeah. I sympathise with Morris. So Morris is the head of the expedition, but this is kind of revealed very early in the game, so it's not much of a spoiler, but he's been under an obligation, a great burden all his life, because he has some prior knowledge of the existence of this place, which no one else does, and it's not clear why he does, and he feels a great deal of pressure, but he also wants to meet those obligations. He wants to do his duty no matter what it takes. So I respect that.
Outside says Maria, she seems like a nice person. She'd be able to help you with your homework.
Well, she's about to save our lives here if we talk to her.
Yeah.
Because
safe. It's quite incredible in
Edmund gave us a cartogram.
Isn't it just?
I really like Maria's voice as well. Michelle did a really, really good job of Maria's voice.
I'm so happy with the voice actors we got. I think all of them.
They've all done a proper stellar job, haven't they?
They really bring the characters to life.
Were you looking for more cartograms?
I can say, well, Edmund gave me another.
How unusually amicable of him.
This is Dan Powell's favourite voice line.
Oh my god! This
Oh, no.
cartogram is much too dangerous to attempt right now. He's trying.
Do the characters in Imperial come from a different part of this same world, or do they come from a different world than the monolith?
Yeah, so the monolith is found on an unexplored planet. So this expedition, where all these characters have come here to be part of this expedition, they are from another part of the galaxy, if you like. And so they've come to this planet to explore what's on it, led by Maurice Lavelle, who, as I said, he had some prior knowledge of it. So they've arrived on this planet, they found the monolith, and they're trying to figure out what it really all means.
Most of the characters are from a place called Auden, but there are some characters from elsewhere in the galaxy as well, and there's a little bit about their backstory, and there's a bit of like world building around that the more you talk to them. And also, this isn't in the demo, but we have like a night and day cycle, so you can obviously talk to the NPCs during the day, and they kind of have their vendor responsibilities, and you can progress their quest lines. But at night, they all kind of gather in the mess hall or in another spot in the hub, and then they've been drinking a little bit, some of them, they have different things to say to you, and you can just get a little bit more about their story and who they are and things like that when you talk to them at night. So that's not in the demo, but it is obviously a big part of the main game is talking to the characters. And also one thing that I really like about the NPCs is that how you interact with them and their quest lines can be very, very dramatic. It's not like, they're a little bit nice to you or a little bit mean and that defines the ending. The endings can be very, very drastically different. So, yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think if we've been paying a lot of attention when we were using our alcoholic drinks, we had the Auden Brown Ale and the honey mead and things like that, there's a tiny little hint in the description of those items about whose favourite drink that is. And so if you find a particular character's favourite drink and then you share it with them, then you'll actually unlock a little character backstory for them. They'll share with you a part of their lives. And the only way you can get that dialogue is if you figure out what their favourite drink is and share it with them.
Yeah, there's lots of little kind of secret things like that. There's loads of really good like NPC moments.
So this is a secret actually that's in the demo. If you talk to certain characters in a certain order, which we just did, you get an extra cartogram. So I'll go over here actually because it will filter out all the ones that we can't use. But once you come back from the monolith from the first time you enter, you get given 4 cartograms. We just add them to your inventory and then you can explore them in whichever order you like. But if you talk to the NPCs, then you might find that you end up with this extra one, which is extreme difficulty, whereas the other one's a medium. This is extreme, level 50.
Can we finish on the extreme one?
If we've got time to do both.
I think we have time to do both. So let's do one The one that's
Should
not
we do this
extreme.
one then?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we'll finish on the medium one. So we'll do Mason Shield with Spike for this one, and then we'll let chat decide.
We can do them all sort of
What
the end
gear?
because I think.
Oh, you think?
That's
Yeah,
okay.
that's a good one.
Oh no, maybe Weapons of the Curious fine. Something else was just while we're on the screen, I'll mention is that you can see it says unique drops there, and it will tell you it's the text there. It says eternal devotion or the good, the true, and the beautiful. That means that it's part of a set. So I've played a lot of RPGs, and some RPGs, if you're in the loot grind phase, you don't really have a way to direct your playtime towards the rewards that you're looking for. So you're not guaranteed to get these items. It depends what the boss drops, but this will help you sort of at least direct your playtime a little bit towards the items that you're specifically looking for. So if I was trying to finish my set of the good, the true, and the beautiful, then I might choose a cartogram like this. And you could trade cartograms with other players. So if someone has a cartogram that has the set item that you want, then perhaps you can get it from them as well.
Sitwise Urchin says, my friend said the voiceover is very good for a company called Silent Games. You know, we have a lot of jokes about our name, but I actually like it. In case anyone's wondering why we're called Silent Games, we usually... It's because basically we want the game to speak for itself. So our thought process there was that we want to make a high quality game that players will enjoy and appreciate, that has a lot of complexity and depth to its features, and people will get lost in playing the game, and the game will speak for itself, and it will be a game that's obviously had a lot of care and attention put into it. And like I said, even though we're a small 12-person team, we've all put in the maximum effort to each of the areas that we've worked on. And yeah, I feel and I hope that the game reflects that, and that's why we're called Silent Games. So in case anyone was wondering, because some people do ask us about that, that's why we're called Silent Games. We're also being published by Secret Mode, so I feel like that kind of matches the Silent and Secret Mode, you know, kind of matches nicely. So yeah. So we're back in Word on Life now, and we're using the Mason Shield. So shall we talk a little bit about the Mason Shield stuff that we're doing here?
Yeah, so one thing I've done here is I've set in model burning, and now if we use Spike... Oh, I didn't time it right, no.
You've got to time it perfect.
I've got to time it perfectly, otherwise it won't detonate. So I was going to try and show me erupting him, but if I go over here then, get myself a barrier, and I can use Meteoric Slam, and then he's erupted, and then that guy's burning. So yeah, erupt is the detonation for fire, and it will explode the characters on fire, and then set all other characters on fire as well.
That's really cool. You kind of like set up a chain reaction, basically.
So we'll do that again, actually.
Stepization says, actually found you guys on the Secret Mode Discord server when you first revealed the trailer there. Oh, well, thanks very much. And oh, that's a cool methodology as well. Oh, I really appreciate that. Thanks for checking out the stream. Yeah. I'm glad you've been able to, learn about the game and everything from that. So yeah, that's cool.
Well, something else with the Mason Shield is that we do say the Mason Shield is like sort of the defensive walking fortress, but it can be quite surprising high mobility because you've got this little charge that you can do. So you can do a quick charge like this and just zip around, or you can hold it down and time it perfectly, and then you get a much more powerful charge.
That's cool. More spike, more spike.
More spike.
More spike.
Get it timed perfectly this time. There we go.
Oh, see? Isn't it so cool? I love it. And it obviously has different elements there with it as well. So, nice. Expert. Hoover up the loot.
Well,
don't leave that behind.
We'll get this guy first. He didn't know where we were, so he was crawling up.
You're chasing after him.
Get some loot. Maybe we'll get a reset charge.
Yep, you did. Yay. So I can't remember if we mentioned this, but reset charges are basically lives. So it's good to collect them, and they sometimes can be found in chests and stuff. So, yeah.
You can see the count actually. It's on the underneath our health bar.
Yeah. So we've got 9. We've been very generous.
Let me show off the
demo.
special of this one. So with this one, I wait for someone to attack me, and then I timed it perfectly. So I've got this explosion.
It's nice.
So that shows you how powerful the sets are. So like I said, if you're playing the demo, really do recommend leaning into the sets. We put the sets there so you can try out the really powerful stuff. And if I fought them normally, I'd be just hitting them away. I could have killed them, but it would have taken a while. Whereas this one, just instant one shot.
Yep. That's cool.
Shall we do the secret challenge area? Well, it's not really a secret, but this room here.
Let's do it.
With these foreboding spikes.
No, it's too intimidating.
You'll be alright. Well, you can put a barrier on. How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Now I feel better. I always feel better when the barrier on.
And they're all dead.
Get them. Get the medic. I usually look. No, he's reviving. You see,
Oh, yes.
anyone like that's medic or healing or anything, I always take them out first because otherwise they'll just keep reviving. And people do learn that pretty quickly when we've been watching the streams and stuff. That kind of it's blue, so it's very obvious that it's a healer, and people do notice that, which is good. I can see people skipping their tutorials really fast though, and that hurts my soul because the game is complicated to understand, and it is hard as well. Like if you're not utilising everything in the game and all of the mechanics, it can be very hard. So you need to use your consumables and your abilities, and you need to perfectly time things. So yeah. What happens when you lose all of the reset charges?
You get sent back to the hub.
Yeah.
But one thing, I will mention though, is that it's not as brutal as it sounds because you actually get to keep all your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything you've collected up to that point, let's say you die on the boss of the cartogram, so you've already played through most of the cartogram, then you'll still get to keep it.
Yeah. So it doesn't really punish you. You can still progress, which I think is good. And yeah, if you keep dying, it's okay because you can keep collecting new loot and getting better gear and stuff, so you're not like just stuck. You know, I think that does help. Call these, you've got every tier of chest now.
Well, this room is a bit unique because it kind of, you probably saw it there, it was giving me waves of enemies, and I have to survive against all the waves of enemies. But you do get this nice little reward at the end.
Yeah, there is some other kind of secrets like that in some of the levels, so yeah, in the main game you'll be able to...
Oh, we're actually full on consumables, I can't pick up
all
these. We've been collecting everything.
We've been collecting everything.
That one is really good, so let's see if we can replace it.
Dump one of those.
Let's drink that.
Drink some pot so you can get the panacea.
Yeah, so this one will remove all negative effects instantly. So if you ever find yourself in real trouble because you're affected by maybe you're burning, maybe you're shocked or you're frozen, you can remove that, but you'll also be invulnerable to them for, it says for a short period, but I think it's actually 30 seconds or a minute, so it's actually pretty generous.
Yeah.
And then we've got...
Dan says you talked about hoarding your consumables, and now you're like hoarding your consumables.
Well, I don't want to make it too easy.
Maybe you're just too good at the game, that's the thing.
Oh, that's not a treasure. Yeah, I don't want to make it too easy.
Read the spider silk description.
You can see when I use my set bonus, I'm killing everything pretty quickly anyway. There's the spider silk.
The spiders have been hard at work. I wrote that. Made me happy. I just wanted to acknowledge their hard work that we have taken from them.
It's a useful spool of silk.
It's not
just any spool of silk.
It's a useful one. The spiders have been very useful. See, we're nice to the lizards. We're nice to the spiders. You know, give them their credit where it's due. Right, where are we going now?
Here's the teleporter.
Right. Let's get him. Whoa.
Then this.
Timed out perfectly.
Get the big explosion. That's done him. Although that guy's going to just heal everyone, isn't he? Is it time to...
Would you say that for every encounter you kind of need to come with a plan when you see the like...
not really, no. I think that obviously in certain situations that you might want to prioritize certain targets, but honestly, as you progress towards the end game, in our game, paying attention to enemy skill timers, paying attention to what's happening, you can't just button mash. But the point eventually, it's an RPG, right? The point is eventually that you will have your build really refined, you'll have your build finished, and you'll just be mowing through. Oh, he dodged me. Mowing through everything.
That was really cheeky, that one.
Oh, he's covered.
But he's the little tricksy guy.
Yeah.
Dodged him again.
Still dodging.
He's not having it, this guy.
Oh, he's
there we go.
Yeah, so of course you can learn what the enemies do, you can prioritize them, and we do have, we haven't really talked about it yet because we do get a lot of discussions about sort of whether we have lock-on and auto-targeting. In our game it's an auto-targeting system, and the auto-targeting can be influenced by the direction you push the stick in, but in general it just works. You're going to be fighting the enemies and things like that, but you see, I can go for this guy if I want, but I could also just, use my special abilities and kill everything. Just like that anyway. Yeah. So, yeah.
You've got your ult ready to save that for the boss.
Alright, save it for the boss? Okay.
Yeah, there. Yeah, let's save it for the boss. The auto-targeting worked really well in my experience. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
I'm glad we tried to...
We always said that our design intention was that we wanted people to find the auto-targeting smooth and responsive enough so that they didn't feel the need for a lock-on. Because I think lock-on comes with its own problems. If people have played games with a lock on, sometimes you're fighting a really big enemy, or a lot of the time when you're fighting a lot of enemies.
Mhm.
And you may have seen during our playthrough, a lot of our combat encounters are multiple enemies,
Mhm.
and so having to sort of panic switch between targets,
Mhm.
that can be where some games that do use a lock on can get a little bit in trouble.
Yeah, that's
Should we
true.
show a little secret? Or
Yeah, show a secret.
secret?
People might go and play the demo again, so we've got to
We can
give them a
go to
little
this room here.
something. Oh, this room's pretty, isn't it? I like this
Yeah.
one.
So this is not for the demo really, it's more for the main game.
Mhm.
There's a item in our game called curios. Now we've given these curios to you for the demo because they actually are part of the set.
Mhm.
So here you can actually see just underneath the icon it says Depth and Silence. That's the name of the set that I'm using. And then this is Immortal Storm of the Empire. That was the set for the glaive.
Mhm.
So that's why we've given you them. But they can seem a bit out of place because they are important lore items and you may not know what the context. But they're in your inventory because they're part of the set.
Mhm.
But yeah, so curios are just items that have no other... They're either part of a lore, they're part of a quest, or they're just an interesting curiosity, if you like.
Mhm.
And so you can read their descriptions. And there's one here. Hidden away.
A leaf laden branch,
in
which
this
makes sense where it
nice
is.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
And that's used in one of the NPC quests.
Yeah.
Another door open.
Yeah, it's good.
You could read the description. of
There
it.
is a lot of secret areas, to be fair, in the main game.
Well, and that actually belongs to the set as well. That set's not available in this demo, but if if you're playing in the main game and you had found a piece of that set, then it's a really easy way to, because of course remember that the sets have multiple, you had to have multiple pieces equipped to get all the benefits. So if you had 6 pieces of gear, then you could equip your curio and it would give you the final bit.
Definitely. By the way, obviously, if anyone else has any questions about the game, it doesn't necessarily have to be about the demo, so feel free to ask anything that you might want to know, and we'll be more than happy to answer.
This teleport is bigger than all the other teleports. I've always wondered about that. Why is that the case?
Maybe it's a bug.
No, it's not bugged. It's intentional. The guys just made it that way. But we're back in this boss room, so we've been here before actually. This is where we fought the champion right at the beginning.
Well, who we're fighting now, though?
But it will be a different enemy this
Who
time.
we're fighting now?
If we want to prepare, again, you can always check our cardogram. We know we're going to fight a sorcerer.
Yep.
He's going to have minions.
I like the sorcerer.
He's gonna
Sorcerer's
empower
very
them.
cool.
Yeah. I like his cutscene actually.
His cutscene's really
We'll
cool.
watch it. You can see your character in your in-game gear as well.
Yeah. Whoa. She could see very well considering her eyes are covered up.
True. There's
She's doing expert dodging, considering.
There's something in Star Wars which looks like that actually, where they have the veils over. Maybe someone in chat knows.
Yeah.
You could make it in
yeah.
Star Wars: The Old Republic, and you could have the veil on, but I've forgotten their name.
Mhm.
There he is. So the sorcerer is particularly challenging, partly because he summons all these minions, which he's about to do,
Mhm.
but also because he uses
It's
all
not just
elements.
minions; it's a war party.
It's an entire war party. He uses all elemental effects. So in your character, you can view secondary stats, and you'll see that I have resistances to cryo and disrupt and smog, but I don't have any resistance to electric or fire on this character. You can build that, of course, but because he uses all elements, then if he hits me with a fire one, I'm gonna resist
You'll be in
that.
trouble.
I'm just letting him do his thing.
I love his animations. I think they did a really good job with his vibe. Oh, we were saving the ultimate too.
Oh, we're going to use that.
Use it at a good time, obviously.
Pacem para.
Whoa, that seemed like a good time.
It's causing chaos.
Oh, chaos. Love that.
Oh, I can,
Oh,
do you want me to?
Look at that! He's getting absolutely tanked by that.
Now he's summoning more minions.
Oh, okay. But you use spike though. That move is really cool, isn't it? I like the ones where you float up in the air and go. We've used them in the trailer. Probably overused them in the trailer a little
Which
bit.
ones?
Like the ones where you're flying up in the air. But they look so cool, so you need to reuse them. Not another parting gift.
Just do
I've
that.
learnt to relax when there's a parting gift now, because
Don't
you
worry
always
about it.
just counter them and it's fine.
So that actually was quite good. I did that quickly because I wanted to show that, yeah, if you're using the set bonuses, you really can just melt bosses.
Mhm.
So if people were curious about what that combo was, because this was actually a combo I was using,
Mhm.
so I was using the Vanish ability, and with the set bonus, that created a delayed explosion, and then I was using the Drain Essence ability, and then with the set bonus, that was, show it to you, the set bonus for the Drain Essence will reduce the enemy HP and resistances. So I was hitting something like 227k damage on my explosions, and that was because of that combination.
Yeah.
Someone else question?
Yeah, stepwise, you always have amazing questions, so thank you for that. The way the cartograms work is very reminiscent of Path of the Exile Atlas system, and the way combat feels reminds me of Darksiders 1. Whilst every game wants to be its own game, are these games that you feel that you've taken inspiration from?
The Path of Exile map system is absolutely the reference to cartograms, so you nailed that one. Path of Exile 1, I should say. So yes, that's true, 100%. I think it was a great system. Love the fact that they can... in their game, they have procedural levels as well, and I think that's a bit easier to do in the isometric style. We don't have procedural levels. We very much wanted to create levels that we could put like hidden details in, hidden nooks and crannies, shortcuts and things like that. So in our game, it's different from Path of Exile because we have the fixed levels, and obviously we don't have exactly the same effects as they do. But yes, the original inspiration and then our twist on it was actually the Path of Exile map system, so you're completely right about that. Darksiders 1 wasn't really a reference, but I would say games like Dragon's Dogma, Monster Hunter, even some odd examples like Genshin Impact is a game that came out more recently, and even though it's more of an anime type game, the combat has actually some really interesting aspects to it in terms of how its elemental systems work, and you saw me use a lot of elemental effects there. So yeah, there are references, and we're not shy about those things. These are games that we've sunk hundreds, if not thousands, of hours into. So we're very, it's important to give them homage as well. So.
Definitely. That was a good question.
Yeah, and yeah, I do like it when people recognise the Path of Exile one. Yeah, that makes it.
See poor hand, make sure he's okay.
Did we leave anything behind? We probably did. I was playing quite quickly.
You probably did, but it's okay.
Probably left quite a few things behind.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, this consumable is really strong. So what this consumable will do is it says it will raise all of your resistances to your highest resistance. And again, it says short period, but it lasts a minute. So if you stack one resistance really high, we talk about fighting a sorcerer and he's dealing damage of all elements. So if you're struggling with that, and then and this will actually give you resistances to all of the elements that you don't have resistances to, because it raises them all up.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll use it. Might as well buy it. I've actually run out of money. Because I had to buy Spike. Spike cost 10,000.
Thank you.
We could sell, so we probably picked some. There we go.
Yeah, he got loads. He had
sell
8,888, coincidentally.
Yeah, I can sell this as well. In our game, we talked before about the rarity system. So this is a tier 5, so the biggest rarity of the treasures. And these treasures can be used at a function of the blacksmith, which you can unlock in the main game. But because it's not in the demo, I'm just going to sell it.
It's not. It's
yeah, it's safe to sell that one. But
was
in the main game,
part of John's quest?
It could be.
Yeah.
So in John's quest, what he does is he asks you to bring him items, treasures, essentially, that drop from enemies. But it's kind of done in a little bit of a humorous way, because he just writes you these little sketches. It's a hastily scribbled note, so it's a blotted request or a scored request. And you actually can get these somewhat randomly. There's only 6, so it's not like... but he gave me 2 out of the 6, and it's random which he gives you. So if you're doing John's quest, he might ask you for different treasures, but in my case, he wanted a Savage Edge. Well, I know what these are. He wanted a Savage Edge, a cloaking device, which drops from the Assassin and the Champion. The Champion was actually the first boss that we fought, but we didn't get one from him. No.
Have to try again.
So we did.
We're going to do the really, really hard cartogram.
Should we do this one?
Yeah.
Cannon or the glaive?
Well, we should let chat decide. We've done the mace end game, but do you want the glaive or the cannon? Because we're going to do the super, super, super hard cartogram the super secret, super difficult cartogram to finish. But yeah, let us know.
We've actually played all weapons now, so I guess it could be anyone.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel, I don't know. I feel like we should probably show the cannon because it is the hardest weapon to get to grips with. I feel like a lot of people, they don't struggle with the cannon. Gavrock says cannon. Yeah, we were kind of going down that path, so that helps. Yeah. I do feel like it's better to kind of show that off because it's a bit more technical and a bit more difficult.
Oh, actually, there's this cartogram as well, which we haven't done. But
let's finish with the extreme one, I think.
So in this one...
see if we can do it.
It's level 50, so obviously that's very high level, but it also says Cryo 5, so that is an elemental multiplier. So in this one it says Smog 2, so that's a bit less, but this one is 5. We get a few less starting research. This one has 8 research charges, this one only has 6. So these are all things, but one thing that this cartogram has, which the others don't, is the loot bonus. So this has a 5 times loot bonus, which is actually the maximum. So that means that you are much more likely to get much better items dropping. So if you found a cartogram that's like this, it will never be exactly like this. They're all randomly generated, so the permutations are almost limitless. But if you found one that was very difficult, but had a really high loot bonus, then maybe you want to try it out. Maybe you want to risk it. See if you could take advantage of that.
See how we go in now.
But this cartogram we added, it's not of course it's not mandatory. You can play as many of the cartograms as you like. You will eventually run out if you do play them all. But yeah, this one is kind of the little secret challenge that we left in there.
If you do play it and manage to do it, let us know. I'd be very curious to see how many people are able to do it, because it is nails. And even the ones that are not extreme are hard sometimes for people who are just getting to grips with the system.
Of course, especially if you're not familiar with the sets or how all the abilities work and things like that. So.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know if you do it. We'll be very impressed if you're able to.
We showed a little bit of this off in the training area, I think. Did we? I think we did.
A little bit.
Yeah. So this is it summons this giant thing here, which deals damage of all status effects, and it does build up of all status effects, and then this ability. Let me just get a little bit of space. Show it off, and that's gone.
That beam to me looks like a migraine.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So I would imagine it's very upsetting for the enemies that are trapped in that laser.
Yeah, and then we've got our elemental shot ability, which fires out 4 projectiles. Just with one tap of the button, you get 4 projectiles, and that will it will do a big build-up of status effects, so that will help you build it up. And the cooldown is very short as well, but it will also detonate them if any are already active. So we'll put that up like this. That's a barrier later. And also the other thing that orbital laser does when it's modified, again this is only when it's modified, is it will actually drag enemies into its center. So it gives you a bit of breathing room as well. We electrocuted and breached him. He's shocked.
He's shocked that you're doing all the damage, that's what. Iranim says, how much more content is in the main game compared to the demo? Ugh, a lot.
Yeah, the demo's, I think the demo's pretty big, honestly, but it's not really compared to how much stuff we have, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to be generous with the demo, but even so, it's still just a fraction of what you get in the main game. I know that throughout the stream we've said, that's not in the demo, that's in the main game, and there's been so many instances of that. Like I said, you can unlock way more abilities, there's a lot more different sets, there's loads more cartograms. Basically, hardly any of the story is in the demo itself. There's a whole area of the hub that's locked currently. Yeah. Obviously there's the entire end game. Also, another thing to mention is we have an extremely extensive New Game Plus. So when you unlock New Game Plus, there's brand new features. So if you're really into the game and you feel like you've made a really good build and you're familiar and you want to see more, New Game Plus isn't just an afterthought for us. It isn't just enemies do a bit more damage or whatever. We've really considered how New Game Plus is. And also I mentioned that all of the NPCs have various different quest line endings, at least 2, some of them have more than that. And so there is an incentive to play New Game Plus as well. So maybe you've got one ending from one of the NPCs and you want to play New Game Plus and do an alternative ending, and also get into some of the new endgame features. So yeah, like jewels and stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
There's all sorts of little hidden details that you can discover. There's all sorts of things which are kind of optional in a way as well, but they will either give you unique rewards or they will fast track rewards. So the one that Sally just mentioned there is it's not always completing a quest, sometimes it's just getting to a certain stage in a quest, but with one of the NPCs, then you can unlock them as a duel. And they can be very difficult because these guys don't mess around, but it's only a friendly duel, so it's not to the death or anything. And if you manage to win, then they'll drop their outfit, and a lot of the times their outfit is actually a set. So this outfit that we're wearing here actually is Roland's set, because it's called Weapons of the Curious Front, and that's actually a reference. I think anyone will remember this, but when we talked to Roland, he talked about how he was a veteran of some certain wars, and how he'd seen a lot of combat in his time, and the Kyrios is one of the wars that he fought in, and so this is actually a lore reference to his character. And if you, in the main game, if you were to unlock his duel, and if you were to beat him in a duel, then you'd actually get a few pieces of this set. And that's true of several other sets as well. There are actually 18 sets in the main game. There's 3 in the demo, pre-made and were given to you. But in the main game, there's 18 for you to unlock. And like I said, many of them are specific to an NPC. Other sets are just... all sets have some visually unique appearance. And some of them have lore reasons for looking at the way that they do. If you watch our recorded stream that plays on the Steam page, you can see us use some of the other sets, which don't feature in the demo. And they have some really cool visual design as well.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we've tried to sort of, I guess, calculate the length of time that players take to complete the game and the new game plus and stuff, and it is very variable. It depends just how much you engage with the content, because I feel like, you know, players play the demo and they have a good time, but there's so many layers to the combat and there's so many layers to the story as well that you really... And also one of the things that was important to us is that I guess it's a little bit like an old school RPG in the fact that we don't handhold players. We don't have mini maps, we don't have quest markers, we don't have very obvious objectives. It's what, like, you know, RPGs used to be. Essentially, you have to really think about things, you have to listen to what the NPCs are saying to you, you have to read the item descriptions. It's a game for people who like that level of depth and really want to use their brain and really think about things. And I feel like once you understand the systems and you put together the pieces of the puzzle yourself, it's very satisfying and you get such a sense of accomplishment with that. And I do know that for some people, like, not having go to X marker and go here and go there can be a little frustrating, but I think once you're in we try to set people in the right mindset for the game by not constantly holding your hand, and once you're in that mindset of, I'm smart enough to work this out and I'm going to explore and everything like that myself and I'm going to work this out. And also we're hoping that there'll be a community helping each other. Fextra Life have been amazing. They've done a really cool wiki. They did some amazing descriptions of things. They've really worked hard on the wiki, so we really appreciate that, because I think that will that will also be a really good tool for the community to come together and to help each other out with features. One of the things that we haven't mentioned at all, and it's not because it's not in the demo, is that, well, we've mentioned it a little bit, we have asynchronous multiplayer features as well, so, you know, you can send the cartograms to each other, but there are some other, I guess, more mysterious features that will be in the main game that we're hoping players will interact with and discover, you know, as part of the community. So, yeah, to answer your question, like, that was a really big answer to a very simple question, like how much more content is in the main game, but I think because it took us such a long time to answer that question, it's probably obvious that there's a lot. And, you know, like I say, we're still a small studio. The price point will reflect that, but I think you get a lot of bang for your buck with this game, basically. So, yeah.
It's good that we were talking there, because I had to concentrate on that fight.
I covered you while you were really focusing. You're making the extreme cartogram look easy, but as the creative director, I would hope so, you know.
That fight was challenging. Something you have to watch out for with I don't know if people noticed it, but the assassin, he has a special ability which you can only use after he's gone invisible, and it will apply a status effect on you which will reduce your visibility, so that's why you saw my screen go black. And then after that duration ends, it will actually take all your health away. It won't kill you, but it will take all your health away.
Stepwise Urchin says, incentivizing exploration resonates with me. That's good, that makes me really happy. We were hoping that we would find players that really enjoy that, because like modern games, there isn't that many where they don't have constant quest markers and like you're told what to do. It is a little bit of an old school thing, and I think because it's such a modern game thing to do, it's a bit jarring for people. So yeah, we're hoping to find players that like that and like the old school way of doing it. So yeah.
This cutscene is funny. This is the mini mage. We've been talking about him a little bit.
I know,
but he summons all his allies, and they abandon him. And he's like, for God's sake. He's fed up.
After release, will Sally teach again? I'm sorry I've abandoned you, Falmouth students, because I've been so busy, but now at least you can see why we've been so busy. But yeah, hopefully I'll get some time to come back. I'm going to do a couple of guest lectures and stuff, because I miss everybody. And yeah, I was asked to come back for a little bit and do that, so I will definitely do that. But now you can see why I've been so busy. It's because we've been working really hard on the demo.
I'll just mention something quickly, because people might have noticed it, is that sometimes you'll see the little immune pop up, and that's because we're in a cryo cartogram, and the enemies are imbued with cryo, and if they're imbued with an element, they'll be immune to the element. And if you remember my set bonus here, gives me damage of all elements. But in this particular case, most of the elements are very effective, but the cryo element won't be. So pop up as immune whenever I deal cryo damage to him.
Wow.
I'm going to try and put my protective screen down, which will absorb his weakening curse. We don't want to get by that. If you get hit by that weakening curse, that will deal a lot of damage and it will prevent all healing.
It feels like a death sentence, to be honest with you. I've died to the weakening curse way too much.
If you do find yourself in that situation, then this will remove it. This is one of the only things in the game that will remove it. So if you did pick up a panacea along the way, then it might be the time to use it.
I did not have a panacea. I
weakening cursed.
To weakening curse.
Do we have any? We do have this one. So we're going to throw a grenade at him now. Yay. Because what you'll read here is it says it will deal disruption damage, but because it's level 2, it says disruption grenade level 2. This one doesn't because it's level 1. So that one just says launch at your foes to electrocute them, and it doesn't say anything else. But if it was level 2, then it will say has the added bonus of lowering enemy resistance. So if we manage to hit him with this, then he will be take more damage from all of our disrupt attacks now.
Yay, that's good. I love the mini mage. I don't want to hurt him. He's too cute.
No.
No, you're like, he's destroyed. He's doing damage to me. I'm doing damage to him.
Something that a few people have mentioned is that obviously when enemies get their barriers up, it can be trickier to damage them. But disrupt damage, which happens to be what we do with this particular build as our main, we do damage of all elements, like we've said a few times. But we actually, the cannon itself, I should show that actually. The cannon itself is imbued with disrupt, so it just says that weapon power, impact, and then disrupt attack 3 out of 5. So. With our normal attacks, we're doing disrupt damage, and then with our special abilities, we're doing damage of all elemental types.
I will say there is a lot of different stats in the game, so it does take you time to understand what each of them does, and that's what I was saying earlier about like you not being handheld. However, like the stats have tooltips, so if there's anything that you're not sure about, you can read the tooltip, and then you'll be able to understand what it does and how it works and things like that. So, yes.
Sorry, I realise I'm toying with him a little bit. So I'm just kind of like.
Get him. Use the ult.
I just wanted to make this fight last a little bit longer because we've got a bit faster on some of the other ones.
Yes, okay.
We're
Summon the black hole.
Yeah, that will drag us in. So and it will smog us. So smog is that ability we saw earlier from the assassin, where it makes our screen go black and it deals a lot of damage. Stepwise
Urchin asks, what is the impact stat?
So the impact stat will help you stun enemies and flinch them. So the more of it you have, the more likely you are to flinch enemies out of their attack, or to build up stun quicker and then get that stun effect on them. It's basically counteracted by a stat called stability. So the more stability you have, the less effective enemy's impact will be against you, and the more impact you have, the more you can counteract the enemy's stability and get the.
I was going to mention that because people do struggle with like the length of the stun, but in the full game, stability is what you can use to counter that. So
stability and fortitude.
Yeah.
Two stats will help with that.
For everything that you encounter in the game, there's like a solution basically. It's just you need to figure out what it is.
I mean, here's a great example. So weakening curses causes a lot of people a lot of problems, but in this case, we just absorbed it with our shield, and it's no problem.
For every problem, there is sort of an answer somewhere in the game. It's just up to the player to figure it out, which I think is nice. And like I said, more old school way of doing things, but I like that. How long has balancing on items, etc. taken compared to the rest of dev? I mean, balancing usually comes at the end of game development, and we're actually still in the phase where we are still balancing things. So, and that can go up right until the game launches, and that is one of the reasons why having the demo is really cool, because we're able to get that player feedback. We've played the game extensively ourselves, and sometimes it's hard to judge it as a new player, so that's why watching the streams and seeing all of that stuff is really good. Although, obviously, it's not the first time we've had players play the game. We've had, lots of internal play tests. We had like a family and friends play test at first as well when we were in our kind of early alpha stage. So we have had a lot of feedback throughout, because player feedback is obviously extremely vital for balancing, but that will continue, and because we've made a game that has so many systems, balancing is a challenge, it really is, and it's very difficult to get right, and we have some things that are sort of randomly generated and procedural, which kind of heightens the difficulty of getting a well-balanced game. So we're still working on it, basically, is the long and short of it, and we'll probably continue working on it. What sort of data do you get from the next demo? Is it played time, or do you get to pull more intricate data? So when someone leaves a review, we can obviously see the length of time that they've played the game for. As well, people have very, very kindly taken the time to leave us feedback on the demo, and that's either in the discussion forum or on Steam. We've got a pinned form that you can fill in to leave feedback. So if anyone's watching and they've played the demo and hasn't left that feedback for us, that would be hugely appreciated. And also, we're completely open to any type of feedback, positive or negative. Like I said before, the game's still in development, so if you do have any sort of negative feedback or any areas for improvement, we still have time to fix some things. Maybe we won't be able to fix everything, but then, you know, there's a lot of things we can. So please leave your feedback, and if you like the demo, please leave a positive review. That matters a lot. I'm sure some of you know, like, if you leave a positive review or if you wishlist the game, it increases the visibility of the game to other players. So if you think this is a type of game that players will like, then that's something that you can do for us that we'd really appreciate. But obviously, only do it genuinely. We don't want to force people to wishlist or anything if it's not their jam. But if you want to help us out and you did enjoy the game and you've enjoyed the stream, then obviously please, that'd be really helpful. But yeah, other data we get is, like, you know, the wish lists are an indication of, like, if people like the game or not, the feedback we get, the reviews we get, and that kind of stuff. Some people put analytics in their games so they can see what sort of features players are interacting with, and that's something that we'll do for the full game to improve it. But yeah, the release year is this year. So yeah, it's coming soon. So yeah, just keep an eye out for it. We'll hopefully be releasing the release date soon. So yeah, we won't have to wait too long, basically. You know. So yeah, we get a lot of good data. Also, another thing, we don't usually get time to just sit and watch players play the game. Whenever we do a play test, a survey gets sent out and we get data that way. But obviously now there's people with Twitch streaming. I try to watch every stream that's on, because seeing what players are, you know, playing and what they're missing or what they're really enjoying and all of that stuff is extremely valuable. We don't always get to, like, I guess, sit over the shoulder and
why is
watch
Dan
that.
giving me shit? I'm popping off.
I see, it's calling you a tryhard.
This is the cleanest gameplay you'll ever see.
Savage.
Well, because I just took the liberty of I really wanted to show this set because we showed the Mason Shield endgame set, we showed the Cannon endgame set. We haven't showed the Glaive endgame set, even though we started, of course, with the Glaive.
And this one's a fun one.
And this one's really fun. Yeah.
So we did the extreme cartogram.
We did. Extreme cartogram's not too bad.
Good. Yeah.
One thing you may have noticed, both in me fighting the boss on that last one, it was pretty chill, really. And you can see me with using the Glaive here. A lot of the time I'll walk up to an enemy and I'll actually just wait for them to attack. So in our game, you can spam your auto attack if you want, but really learning the abilities, learning the enemy timers, and reacting to them, particularly with the Glaive. Actually, the setup we've got for the Glaive is very reactive, and so I'm not even going to hit him. I'm just going to wait for him to hit me. Then I can deflect him, and then I'll use my riposte, and then I'll try and get this chain going. Oh no!
I punched you out of it. If you got the best chain on this stream,
cool.
it'd live on. Then everyone would have to beat that. I'll have to count them. 1. No. I feel like I've put too much pressure on it now anyway.
Well, we can see on the boss. The boss has more HP. I don't know if this guy even has enough HP.
Yeah, he's probably going to die before you even get the full chain.
But the boss will have a lot of HP. So.
Yeah.
Him.
Yay.
I'll leave the loot there. Sorry for anyone who's doesn't like to do that. That's
the saddest thing ever.
It's just the demo, so you won't be able to take any of your progress over to the main game because obviously we give you a lot of stuff for free in the demo, so you can get a taste of it. But you don't need to worry too much about collecting every single thing because it's just for the demo.
Is there any Easter eggs in the game to find, like a Greg Star biscuit?
So our environment artist is very fond of doing that. And he doesn't always tell us when he puts one in, so... I
don't know what's in. I mean, there's some stuff I'm sure we won't even know what's in. I mean, like we've mentioned, we've got Auden Brown Ale, which is a homage to Newcastle Brown Ale.
Yes.
So we've got that. We've got a lot of, I guess, references to British humour
Yeah.
things
I
like
mean,
that.
I don't know if it counts as an Easter egg, but there are tons and tons of references in the game to classical philosophy, existential philosophy, Gnosticism, Christianity, real history. The game is very heavy on that. I don't think that counts as Easter eggs really, but
there's a lot of
different
Latin lines
inspirations.
as well that people can Google, find the meaning of, and things like that as well. So
Yeah, actually, one of the guys who was working on the wiki, I haven't done this yet, so if he's watching, then I'll work on it. But he was asking me what if all of the Latin lines had kind of a history behind them. They weren't just random lines. A lot of them are from poems or from phrases, famous phrases that say a general has said or something. So they all have actually a little bit of history to them. So if you did find one in game and you were curious what it meant and you looked it up, then you will find probably something interesting to learn about.
Definitely.
And like I said, he was very interested in that. And he asked me what all the references were, so I'm trying to collect a little document for him.
I love it when you Google something from a game and then you end up just down the pit of Wikipedia.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, just learning about all sorts of stuff. And yeah, our game definitely is one of those. There's hidden stuff which some of the devs have not found. Oh no, that scares me.
We didn't talk about it, but this is the intro scene for one of our guardians. So this is actually one of our. You can see that she looks a little bit like some of the statues that we've been seeing, and that's not by coincidence. So this is actually a very lore significant character. We threw her in the demo as an extra challenge. She's got almost. This is quite a fun matchup because I'm doing lightning attacks, and she's doing lightning attacks, and we'll see who comes out on top.
I saw someone fighting this and they were struggling. Oh, I wasn't counting you. I wasn't counting. There'll be a VOD count.
One of the cool things we can do with the glaive, which I didn't show, which I just showed there, is if you counter-attack a ranged projectile, then you get this little thing where you can teleport to the enemy that you've encountered. So the glaive has all kinds of like extra movement options built into its kit, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'm going to ask Rootsie what these hidden things in that we don't know about.
We'll wait for her to do another thing that we can deflect, and then we get our chain going.
Oh. What happens if it flings you off the edge? Don't
I was
fling
about to
off.
say, I don't want to.
That's still possible. Oof.
Little tip.
Crackle.
Oh, we got the stage past.
That's good. We needed that.
I'm going to stand still for a second because we're shocked. And we don't. If you're shocked and you move, you take damage. So that's why I was standing still there.
It's very tempting to move around when all these things are kicking off.
Yeah, you just have to sort of hold your nerve.
Yeah. Yeah, hold your nerve, that's what I think I've seen a couple of people defeat her though.
Yeah?
Yeah. One or two.
I want to bring her
After
away
many
from the
tries.
edge. Scared of the
Oh, get her though.
No, because I would fly around. So there she is. She's behaving herself now. So
that wild lightning,
the wild lightning just sends things down at random. So you just have to keep somewhat of an eye of it. We electrocuted her now.
Oh, I see.
So electrocuted will make her immobilised for about 2 seconds. That's the wild lightning that's popping off there.
Yeah, I see.
Right.
Did any early bugs in the game end up becoming game features?
Any bugs? I think any bugs
I
became
don't
game
think
features.
so.
Stay
One
away
of the
from
things that we did add, which we didn't add for ages, is a jump button. Like one of the first playtests we ever did, like family and friends, when we just tried to avoid a jump button in the game for ages. I mean, I think like Zelda even have one. Like there's some games where it just doesn't feel necessary, but for our game in the end it did. So we did. You know, there's times where we've changed our design based on player feedback like that. But yeah, I can't think of any bugs.
Not any bugs, no, I wouldn't say so.
Oh, that ends.
Maybe there is. Maybe Rootsie. We'll think of some. But yeah, sometimes happens, but I can't.
I'll try and finish off with a chain. I don't want to kill her just yet. Let's see, she has to do an attack that I can deflect her.
Deflect.
She's waiting for me, here we go.
Whoa, so dramatic. And she,
Cinematic
wow,
finish.
what a cinematic finish that was indeed.
Like
What an undignified way to perish.
So when you defeat one of these guardians, there's a certain number in the game, I won't say how many exactly, but you'll collect their imprimatur. And that, in this case, we actually had one already because we part of the Death and Silence, but we just collected this one. And so this will give you a bit of a lore information about their ideals and who they truly are. And they are very important to the overall story of the game and the story of the monolith as well. So you actually also get an achievement when you collect all of them. So keep an eye out for these. Don't leave them behind. Because if you have to buy them from the lizard, they're very, very expensive. So I recommend picking
don't
them
leave
up.
them. Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, it's good that the lizard drives a hard bargain, but yeah, don't leave them behind. But yeah, I think we're coming to the end of the stream now. Let's answer any
So
more
there's a question
questions
there.
that we have though. I'm thankful that there is a jump button. Question, why can't we map individual controller buttons?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll show you what we do have.
Mm-hmm.
You have in the settings here the different layouts that you can try. So one thing that we do, which is you can have a different layout for each weapon. So that's why the cannon is by default layout 3, because that puts the basic attack on the trigger, which feels much more natural for a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But layout 1 for the glaive and mason shield is your attack button on the right bumper.
Mm-hmm.
But if you click on it, then you can change, in this case, it's the basic attack on X. So if I guess that's a bit more old school, having the attacks on the face buttons. You can try that out. In terms of not being able to map them, if there is a big demand for that, we could look at adding it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really felt like if we give enough layout options, then we should cover most bases.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think many players will want to sort of map attack to left on the D-pad. So that didn't feel like a really necessary option. And there are some things that just wouldn't work. You could basically break the control scheme if you really could change everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you need a warning about that, and then you kind of need to go and fix it. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that these layouts will meet the sort of the preferences of most people, the vast majority of people. And obviously these layouts, we've been able to test them all, we've been able to try them all out and make sure that they do make sense and they don't conflict with any of the controls, and all the controls work. So that's the main reason. On the keyboard and mouse it's a bit easier because you just have more keys.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to, you're probably not going to have any conflicts because you can just map it to yet another key that you have available. So on keyboard and mouse, yes, you can do it individually. But on gamepad, we've tried to think of some sensible layouts to let you use.
We've added a lot of options based on player feedback. So if we go to the settings menu, there's some things we've recently added. Which
what was these ones? We had the damage
the
numbers.
damage numbers. Like we read everything. We're really trying to listen to what players want. So someone was like, "I hate damage numbers in a game." It was like one person said it. I was like, "You don't like damage numbers? Okay, you can hide them."
Well, careful, we don't want
to
to
not overselling it, but. If we think that seems like a reasonable thing and it's within scope, it's something that's relatively easy for us as devs to implement, we try and do it. Same with things like motion blur, bloom, depth of field, that was recently requested. Some mad lad on Steam asked for an inverted mouse, no judgment on that, but they wanted inverted mouse controls, so we're going to add that as well. So yeah, there's just we try and there's still more settings that we plan to add for launch on PC. As well, there's a couple more things we plan to add for consoles as well. So, yeah, there is no layout where X is attack and A is jump. That was something to get used to for me. Is that the case then, I guess?
Yeah, we do have A as jump and X as attack, but they don't overlap.
Interesting. That's good to know. See, that's good feedback. So yeah, thank you for that.
Should be relatively easy to create another layout for that, just because. As I said, the nervous thing about sort of providing... I've changed my controls now. The nervous thing about providing, total control is that you may end up creating conflicts. But we already have a layout that does have jump on A, and then another layout which has attack on X. So it may be possible to combine those two.
Now you've changed your thing and you don't know what you're doing now. It's all
That's all right, I'll just pay attention to the prompts now.
Yeah.
I can put it back. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're planning to do more streams, and obviously we'll probably stream the full game as well at some point and go into different bits and bobs of that, as well as from the demo. But because people have access to the demo, we've seen people playing, and we wanted to just give a few more in-depth tips and some more information about how to make the most of the demo, basically. But we've had some really good questions, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's just been fun to show it off, and hopefully, if anyone's watched the stream before playing the demo, then obviously that's maybe giving you a bit of a head start on that, because definitely read about your abilities, definitely read about the sets. You'll have a very different experience if you try and get through the game sort of button mashing or spamming a basic attack. The game really does sort of encourage use of abilities. That is your powerful attacks and the set bonuses if you want to do the higher level cartograms. You don't have to. I think we even have one cartogram left, which we won't do, but we've got a lower level cartogram left, so you can still practice
there
bit
is
more
so much
in the
content
lower
in the
ones.
demo, so if you want to play more, then please do. So yeah, thanks so much for coming to the stream. It was nice to see we had a lot of people throughout. So yeah, really appreciate you all dropping by and asking loads of really interesting questions. And yeah, we're always happy to answer stuff. As I said, we have the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord already, then obviously you'd be very welcome. If there's anything that you think of later that you want to ask, then we'll be in the Discord and we'll be ready to answer questions. Anything to do with the demo or the main game. Thank you for streaming the demo. You're very welcome. I mean, we love playing our own game. As you know,
we're not bored of it yet.
We're not bored of it yet. So we've been working on it for a good few years. So we're always really happy to like walk players through it and talk about it. And like I said, it's been a very exciting time for us seeing players play the game for the first time publicly and just being able to talk publicly about the game. It's just, yeah, it's really, really good. We're really loving it. So yeah, thanks very much for being here. If you haven't played the demo yet, then obviously we've got links below. So definitely give it a go. If you have any struggles or you need any help with anything, just give us a shout. And like I said before, wish lists for Empyreal are really important. So if you do want to pick up the game and you've seen a lot of the demo now and you think it might be something that would interest you, then obviously please give it a wish list. And yeah, we'd really appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for sticking with us and seeing it out. It was really nice to talk to everyone. And like I said, we'll be back with a few more streams. Any stream announcements will go on all our social medias and stuff like that. So make sure you follow Silent Games as well. So if you are in the chat and you don't currently follow the Silent Games account, then please do. And then yeah, you'll see all of our stuff. I noticed that we had some new followers. Oh, there we go. There's one. Thank you very much. I wasn't paying attention to that screen, so if you did follow us and you didn't give me I didn't give you a shout out, then sorry, but thank you very much to everyone that has followed us. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their evening, or if you're watching from another time zone, whatever part of the day you're in. But yeah, thanks for sticking with us, and we'll hope to see you again next time. Thanks very much, everybody, and yeah, I'm really glad you had fun. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. Bye.
No, we didn't give a chance for people to say goodbye, but it's fine, I guess.
They will, because it'll pop up there now.
Oh, no, I mean with us responding.
I can respond in the chat.
In the chat. You did a good job, Eve.
Yay.
That was fun.
Our mics are still on. Yay. Oh, sorry. That was my fault. Joseph told me I was doing a good job, so that's all you heard. At least it wasn't like you did a terrible job. Bye.
Doesn't that button change that, or I guess not?
Will now.
Oh.
Bye, everyone.